You're watching the Dr. Pepper Championship Drive Game of the Week.
Rain has started to fall in College Station, but it will not dampen the spirit. Welcome to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Hampton by Hilton, and this presentation of the SEC on ESPN. Aggieland on a Saturday night. Clemson comes rolling in, and the Aggies have been getting ready since midnight yell on Friday night. About 50,000 people packed into Kyle Field to whoop it up, to get together to saw off the horns. And they don't have to worry about the horns. They got to worry about the Tigers, who wanted to check out the festivities. And the spirit continued to carry into the morning and the afternoon as the Aggies got on the bus and made their way into this stadium where they will take on number 2 Clemson. And the man that's caused all of this enthusiasm is Jimbo Fisher. Jimbo Fisher knows Clemson oh so well, and here comes the number 2 team in the land, the Clemson Tigers. Tigers always travel well. Young Trevor Lawrence, freshman quarterback that we will see at some point tonight. And Dabo and Jimbo Fisher have gone head-to-head many times. Jimbo's final words to his Aggies moments ago.
What can you control the next play? Learn from the last one, process the next one, move on. Something good happens, process it, move on, make another good one happen. Something bad happens, process it, move that one behind you, play the next play. Make something good happen out of that. Play every play, toughness, effort, discipline, and pride, and everything you got. And have grit in what you do. Have grit in what you do. Believe in what you do. Have passion for what you do. Love what you do. And do it for each other, guys. Do it for each other. Each guy. Each individual guy. That's all, man.
The core, the fans hope that this will be a cornerstone night of the Jimbo Fisher era. Just about ready to start. Kirk Herbstreit is with us. We'll hear from Kirk when you come back to Aggieland on Saturday night. An explosion of emotion as the Aggies say howdy to the 12th man and get ready to greet Clemson, number 2 in the nation tonight. Reese Davis and Kirk Herbstreit. What a scene here in College Station for this showdown, and biggest crowd ever to see Clemson play tonight, more than 100,000, and the Tigers will run 2 quarterbacks at this crowd and at the Aggies.
Well, you know, Kelly Bryant's the starting quarterback for Clemson, but there has been a lot of hype about Trevor Lawrence, the true freshman. He's going to get a look early in this game, probably about the 3rd series or so. We'll see who's better at that point. Dabo and his staff will make a decision based on the way they perform. By the way, there's rain tonight, all night. We'll see how they handle the ball. But the quarterback situation for the number 2 team in the country is something to keep an eye on.
So you've got the wet ball potentially, you got the crowd, all of the elements, and a guy that knows Clemson very well in Jimbo Fisher now at Texas A&M.
Yeah, Jimbo Fisher is known in the coaching profession as one of the better offensive minds, is a very, very balanced attack that he's brought in, more of a pro-style attack. He's got a quarterback in Kellen Mond that's used to running a spread tempo with Kevin Sumlin, now running more of a pro-style offense. We'll see how he does against a very talented defense.
Kirk, we are underway. Clemson won the toss and deferred, so A&M will get it first. It goes into the end zone, and the Aggies will get it on the 25, led by their quarterback, Kellen Mond, who won the quarterback competition in fall camp.
Yeah, 6'2", 210 pounds. Mentioned how he ran a completely different style of offense last year. They've said everything that they have seen from him, making these adjustments, tweaking his mechanics as a passer, has been very impressive. We'll see how he does against this defensive front, and we'll see if they can run the ball. If they can't run the ball, Kellen Mond is put in obvious passing situations, makes for a long night for any offense.
A big Aggie front against this great Clemson front. A little trouble on the initial snap and exchange. Mond makes a little something out of nothing, picking up 3.
And that's something that when you go against Brent Venables' defense, the front gets a lot of attention, but don't fool yourself. The linebackers, the corners, the safeties, it's the entire group that make it very challenging for you. And a quarterback run game makes Brent Venables have to account for one more body, and it gets an extra hat down and can create some one-on-one opportunities in the pass game.
Two backs, they give it to Cullen Gillespie, who has spent most of his career as the 12th man on special teams. But with Jimbo Fisher here now, they need a fullback, and Gillespie has filled that role quite well.
Brings toughness to that position, but also, as you saw there, he got around the corner against his speed at Clemson. And we got a little chippiness here early. Teams both trying to kind of establish each other and send a message back and forth, especially out on the perimeter with the wide receivers and the defensive backs.
Gillespie a couple of yards short of the first down, brings up 3rd and 2. One of the things the Aggies said they had to do was stay stubborn with the running game. Travion Williams is yet to carry it after his 240-yard night, and they pulled it away from Williams, and Kellen Mond across the 45, and a first down for A&M.
We just talked about how his feet are a factor. You don't see this a lot from Jimbo Fisher's offense. There's the read. If he collapsed down on the running back, Travion Williams, you pull it out. He comes down, you pull it out, and then there's the speed to run away from the inside backer, Trey Lamar. That's an X factor tonight for Texas A&M, the feet of Kellen Mond.
15-yard pickup for Mond. And show the jet sweep. Mond has a wide open Gillespie, and he makes another big play out of the backfield, and he's in Clemson territory, close to the 30-yard line.
Mond right now is in a really good rhythm. Watch his eyes look to the middle of the field. Right off the play action, he looks right here to the middle of the field, which will open up the wheel to the right. You have two defenders that got locked in on that middle wide receiver, opens up that wheel down the right side. Again, Kellen Mond right now running, throwing, in control for the Aggies offense.
The senior from Katy, Texas, picked up 21 yards, and the Aggies on their initial possession already with a threat. Here's Williams. And football's on the ground. They're fighting for it. And they almost signaled this ACC on the field crew, almost signaled they're going to Clemson, but getting it in there was Keaton Sutherland after Kayvon Wallace had knocked it free.
Yeah, it was low hit there. The ball just came out. Actually, it's the own receiver knocked that ball loose. He's getting blocked. Looked like Cameron Buckley getting blocked back into the runner is what caused the fumble, and they were very fortunate there that the left guard, Keaton Sutherland, jumped on top of the ball. But a good push there on 1st and 10 to try to run the ball.
Fine. Plenty of time, and he fired in, looking for the tight end, Jay Sternberger, who had a huge game against Northwestern State. They didn't have tight ends here at Texas A&M before Jimbo came. Sternberger, one of a couple that they had to bring in.
Yeah, he's a good-looking tight end. See, they dropped Austin Bryant. They'll do that from time to time. That ball had a lot of velocity on that. It was tough for Sternberger, rather, to bring that in. But down in this area, he is a tough matchup for linebackers and also safeties. You'll see Isaiah Simmons, 11, on him quite a bit, man-to-man down here.
3rd down and 6. Mond pulls it down, fires, complete, and for the second time, the Aggies have converted on 3rd down. The receiver he finds is Cameron Buckley, a sophomore from Cedar Hill, Texas.
Most impressive thing about Kellen Mond is he's being decisive. Watch how he gets out of the pocket here. Instead of waiting, he immediately locates his receiver and gets rid of the football to give Buckley a chance to go up and make a play on that. If he hesitates even another second, the ball's late and there's no chance of completion. Good job of not only throwing the ball, but getting it out quickly.
Swing in the red zone. Buckley, who just made the 13-yard catch, couldn't quite get his footing after catching the little swing, picks up a couple. Isaiah Simmons on the stop.
And that's a counter play to the left. The offensive line that time just ran a counter play. They have no idea if he's going to hand it off to Travion Williams or if he's going to throw it out to the outside. And he saw what he saw with a soft coverage from Brent Venables' defense and decides to flip it out there again to Buckley, who's getting his hands on the ball a lot here early in this game.
Looked like he might have dinged up his hand, Kirk, on that last one. He headed to the sideline. Trevor Wood now in as a tight end. Graduate transfer from Arizona. Travion Williams. pokes his way inside the 10. Another third down coming.
You know, there's so much made out of Clemson's defensive front. Well, best defensive line in college football, you could say. All four of those guys are going to be considered NFL first-round picks next year. This Texas A&M offensive line, the starting five, they've got size. They pride themselves saying, hey, we're from the SEC. We're going to see Alabama. We're going to see Auburn. We're going to see LSU. We're not going to back down from these guys. So they've really challenged them to try to win the battle at the line of scrimmage and use your size against their quickness.
Right now, Kirk inside. Christian Wilkins not in the game. His backup, Albert Huggins, who's a veteran player, is in there. 3rd and 5. Mine getting heat, throws it into traffic, and Clemson had two guys around Trevor Wood. Kendall Joseph was there, Tanner Muse as well. So the Tigers stiffen on defense, and they'll force a field goal attempt.
Something to remember about Wood is he's 6'6", 265 pounds, and you have two guys on him because of that size. Muse, the safety behind, and really tight coverage from Kendall Joseph, the middle linebacker.
Aggies kicker is Daniel LaCamera. Now, Kirk, from this range, now it's wet out there, could be different, but he was perfect inside the 40, 13 for 13 last year. This will be a 26-yard attempt to get the Aggies on the board first. And it is no good. Dabo fired up. They gave up ground. They let the Aggies possess the ball, but Jimbo's team couldn't finish.
And one of the keys to this game for A&M to try to hang around and be able to pull off an upset is get off to a good start. 10 plays, 66 yards. You're thinking maybe a touchdown, worst case a field goal, and they miss it. Let's see how their defense responds.
That's been a terrific game at an end here. Clemson just stopped an Aggie drive when Texas A&M missed a field goal. So Kelly Bryant getting the start. Tried to throw the tunnel screen, making the catch with Amari Rogers, but the throw was low. And as you look at Bryant, here he comes on 2nd down, Herbie.
Yeah, last year, replaced Deshaun Watson, dealt with that pressure very well, went on the road, won some big games. Has the experience, has been in these kind of atmospheres, knows this offense very well in his 4th year in the system.
Been very adept over the course of his career at taking care of the ball, though he did throw some interceptions last year, 13 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. ETN with the carry, and Travis an explosive back. Short game brings up 3rd and 8.
And this is where, again, you're kind of weathering the storm here early, but Clemson has a personality going on the road and kind of being having a bravado approach, taking some chances. Let's see what they do here on their first 3rd and long of this game in front of this environment, this crowd.
Pressure, down he goes! Making the sack is Justin Matabuke.
You look at this defensive front from A&M, they have size and they have quickness. Watch him right here, nothing fancy, just able to get off of the block and use his quickness and speed. Kelly Bryant didn't even really have a chance to read the coverage because of how quick he got in there to come up with that sack.
So Clemson will have to punt it away. Will Spires standing right at his goal line. Rashad Paul, the sophomore, stands just into his own territory. Short, low kick. Paul getting everybody away from it. Going to take a little bit of a Clemson roll, and they will touch it dead just inside the 45. An excellent field position for the Aggies. 2nd possession when you come back.
ESPN College Football is presented by Hampton by Hilton. For the best price guarantee, book at Hampton.com. And in part by Audi.
At Bottle Cap Alley, going to the College Station landmark. Dixie Chicken or downtown. There's so many great spots here. Had a great time, college game day here this morning, and now here for this SEC-ACC showdown. Texas A&M with its 2nd possession on about the 45. They forced a 3 and out, and I know it's early, but possessing the ball and getting the 3 and out. A&M's not as deep on defense as Clemson, so really good first half of the first quarter so far for Jimbo Fisher, with the exception of the missed field goal. Ravion Williams short game.
Yeah, I think you go back to that first drive for A&M. Go back and look at Kellen Mond here making a read on Isaiah Simmons, who collapses down on Travion Williams. Nice simple read on third down, and there's the speed to be able to get out and make people miss and outrun them. And then this was great. Being decisive, seeing those two defenders, getting rid of the ball very quickly, giving his wide receiver Buckley a chance to pick up those first downs. That is pivotal, as you said, to try to keep their defense off the field and see if they can try to wear down the Clemson defense.
2nd and 8. Good protection for Mond. Now he finds his man. That's Kendrick Rogers. He's a guy that A&M says has all the ability in the world, and they've been waiting on him to get loose in a big early catch.
Yeah, he does a nice job here of actually looking at the middle linebacker, Trey Lamar. Trey Lamar is going to eventually come off. He looks around, looks for a receiver. Then he decides, okay, I'm going to come off of him. Decides to come up towards a scrambling Mond. He draws him towards him, but keeps his eyes downfield, and that's what he can do. It's not just running the option, it's using his feet to create, buy time, keep his eyes downfield, and make accurate throws.
Another first down. Aggies back in Tiger territory.
You see something.
Play clock's getting late. They have to burn a timeout to avoid the 5-yard penalty, and they do.
Timeout.
Now, this may be one of the things as Kellen Mond learns this Jimbo Fisher offense and all of the intricacies, as we say hello to our teammate Maria Taylor, who's down there. Maria, you okay in the rain down there? We're good?
I'm trying really hard to stay dry. It's difficult, but one thing that I've noticed about Kellen Mond, even as he comes back over to the sidelines, is very calm and composed. And he mentioned to me earlier this week that his confidence is a lot higher right now because when Jimbo came in, he focused on all the little details. He feels like he understands the offense better. He can read defenses better. And he's really taken to heart that offense is a class now, and it's brand new to him. So he's very focused on watching a lot of film during his off time, guys.
Maria, that's great stuff. And Kellen Mond, he's working with a head coach who's an offensive guru, has a great track record of working with quarterbacks and to me, giving them answers. You know, Sunday to Friday can be demanding and tough on the quarterbacks in the practice field, in the film room. And by the time you get to Saturday, the game kind of slows down for you because practice and all the preparations have been so demanding that it makes you play a lot better. And we're seeing that so far from number 11.
And Jimbo said that in the game against Northwestern State that Mond checked to about 75% of the runs that they had. And there were much larger holes against Northwestern State for Travion Williams than he's been able to find so far against Clemson. Had 240 yards in that opener, second best game in Aggie history. But so far, Travion's been held in check. There's 10 yards on 4 carries.
And they go with 2 big tight ends in the game right now. Wood at 6'6" and Sternberger 6'4", both new to this team this year. Matchups to watch not only on the outside, but also the inside with those tight ends.
Heat coming from Clemson. Mond has an answer underneath. It's one of the tight ends. As Kirk said, it's Jay Sternberger who gets back down close to the red zone on another Aggie first down.
Go back to what Maria just talked about. His poise, that's exactly what he had, considering this was an all-out blitz. Clemson brought the linebackers. They brought a safety. Nobody there to pick up the tight end Sternberger. We just talked about what weapons they can be. But you can see, as soon as he gets rid of the football, he gets hit by 2 Clemson Tiger defenders, but he was waited just until the last second to get rid of the ball, showing the poise again that he's been playing with here early.
We talked about answers. That was an answer from Fisher, and Mond handled that beautifully, but he didn't necessarily handle the snap the same way. Cleveland Farrell in the backfield, and the Aggies suffer a loss on first down.
You know, Farrell, he's known as a pass rusher, but I want you to see why he is so good. Watch how he gets in there so quickly that the guard pulling around Sutherland has no chance to be able to come around and pick him up because he didn't hesitate. He came down immediately, read the handoff, and was able to be involved in not just a pass game, not just a pass rusher, but I think he's really grown to be able to be a complete defensive end in his size. Look how much bigger he is than he was a year ago.
He is a delightful young man to be around, too. Great sense of humor, though a little bit ornery in situations like this. Mond right in Travion Williams' hand. He had a little bit of running room, but he couldn't hold it. In 3rd and 14 is tough sledding against this Clemson D.
With the tendencies for Clemson down in this area are to bring blitz. And the answer for Jimbo Fisher there is let's try to get a screen and try to get those linemen out in front of it. Then when Brent Venables decides to turn them loose, if you can get behind those linemen, you got a chance for a big game. Remember, they moved the ball last time and came away with nothing on a pretty routine field goal.
See what Fisher has on 3rd and 14. Here's Mond. Pressure. Got to get rid of it. There's nobody out there but a lineman as Williams have fallen down. Austin Bryant was the one that was right up in Kellen Mond's kitchen. And that defensive line making its presence known.
How about rushing 3, dropping 8? You're going to get 3 guys coming here. Farrell holds up the tight end on the outside. But they're trying to set up the screen, but it's hard to set up a screen when Austin Bryant gets in there that quickly. I love Christian Wilkins. He read screen, and he's trying to find the running back, knowing that Bryant was going to get to the quarterback.
Daniel LaCamera missed from 26, now going to try to atone to some degree from 40, and the play clock's getting down on top of him again, so A&M will use its second timeout here in the first quarter. I do not believe that pleased Coach Fisher based on the look on his face. The camera will try to give the Aggies a first quarter lead when you come back to College Station.
You know, Jimbo Fisher known as a guy who can get pretty spirited, but I've recognized and seen he's in more of a kind of a teaching mode tonight with a young team. First big game as a Texas A&M head coach. He's a 2-touchdown underdog against the Clemson Tigers. You know what? They're kind of holding their own right now, and there he's just kind of telling his kicker, hey, don't worry about that last one. Let's go out there and don't worry about the result. Go out there and put it through the uprights.
You read his lips, and that's what he's been preaching is process. Next play, learn how to do it. LaCamera's a terrific kicker. Didn't use his greatest technique last time. Missed from 26. Now from just outside of 40 on the way, and the Aggies are on the board. Sometimes when you don't worry about the result, you get precisely the result you want. Gig'em up by 3. You can check out our alternate angle Xfinity Skycam coverage of tonight's game. It's streaming live on ESPN3 on the ESPN app and on Xfinity X1. Give you a great look at Kyle Field. They've done a spectacular job. And renovating this place, did a couple of years ago. Got great suites that Maria's going to show you a little bit later on.
I love this place. I love the traditions. I think it's one of those places, if you travel around, like to go to different venues and watch college football, you got to come here.
The rain has started to fall just a little bit harder. And it'll be a touchback. Cornell Powell will keep it in the end zone, and Clemson will take it on the 25. Saturday Night Football presented by Wells Fargo next week, back on ABC, streaming live on ESPN. The Ohio State Buckeyes who rolled again over Rutgers. This is a test, though. Gary Patterson and TCU. TCU rebuilding a little bit on offense, but the Buckeyes will get a tough test in Arlington.
Sure will. Last game that Urban Meyer will not be on the sidelines. By far their biggest test after their first 2 games.
Clemson in for a fight, it appears, at least in the first quarter. Rain falling a little harder. Kelly Bryant back out for his second series. Travis Etienne, a running back beside him. And the whistle sounded. I'm not sure that Kelly got the snap off in time.
Play of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Touchdown.
Stuart Mullins of our ACC crew on the field, SEC officials in the replay booth.
Something to watch is the battle in the middle of the Clemson offensive line. Fasanelli, a very good center, going up against some talented interior defensive linemen from A&M.
Look at big Dalen Mack, who's changed his number to 34 this year, and they tried that play earlier, and again it didn't work. Amari Rogers is knocked down very quickly. Deshaun Capers-Smith there to make the stop.
Keep in mind, Mike Elko came over from Notre Dame. He was a defensive coordinator that Jimbo Fisher brought in his first year. He is an aggressive, very complicated scheme, moves people around, disguises coverage. You throw that and this crowd into it. And right now, Kelly Bryant, after that penalty, they got all they can handle.
And 2nd and 16. And Hunter Renfrow makes the catch, and that was almost picked off by Kingsley Keke. If he had grabbed that, Kingsley would have just walked right into the house.
Well, Keke feels that Mitch Hyatt is going to block him and kind of go low. When he goes low, that means I got to get my hands up, ball's coming out. And by getting his hands up, that ball went almost off his shoulder pad. I think it went right through his hands. And there's Hunter Renfrow, very focused, but no yards with the way that defense is flying around.
3rd and 15 in this noise.
They practiced all week with crowd noise. Very hard to duplicate what you see on a Saturday night here at Kyle Field.
Bryant throws a dart and loses Amari Rodgers. Rodgers is on his way into A&M territory. They'll track him down and push him out of bounds with the first huge explosive play of the night for Clemson, courtesy of the sophomore from Knoxville.
And that's why you're Clemson. This is the Clemson team. Adversity, crowd noise, 3rd and long, steps in, gets hit as soon as he threw that ball and throws a laser to Amari Rodgers. The young sophomore takes off and shows you what he can do after the catch.
64-yard pickup on 3rd and 15.
I mean, this field was basically tilted.
Issued a warning for sideline interference.
This field here in the early going is kind of tilted in favor of A&M with the crowd and the way their defense is playing. 3rd down and forever. And Kelly Bryant, after all the talk about Trevor Lawrence maybe becoming the guy, 3rd down, he steps in and throws a strike to Rodgers.
And Kurt, that's what Mike Elko wanted to make Kelly Bryant prove he could do. Throw the ball on time in the middle of the field into a window, and he found Rodgers, and now Clemson is threatening. Etienne is hit as soon as he got it, making another play as Deshaun Capers-Smith.
They're in more of a 4-2-5 with 5 defensive backs. And Capers-Smith's going to come from out here and they just shoot him. When they get down inside this red zone, you're going to see a lot more of an aggressive approach from Mike Elko. That time he brings the nickel, the star, on the blitz. Perfect timing. Nothing Etienne could do there.
Bryant is high. It was dangerously bouncing around. He was trying to get it to T. Higgins. Devion Renfrow. Also Derek Tucker there to stop it.
These safeties are moving around. Look at this late movement, 6 coming down like that last second. That was Donovan Wilson. They are disguising and trying to affect the communication between Kelly Bryant and his wide receivers. They are flying on that back end.
3rd and 13 now. Bryant, Etienne, got a blocker in front, a couple, slips a tackle. Etienne inside the 5, and he'll get the first down, and Clemson is knocking on the door.
How about the blocks downfield? The left guard, John Simpson, pushes a defender to the outside. Watch the left guard get out in front of Etienne. Pushes him outside. He cuts back underneath that. And then Higgins hustling to make a good block to try to help the running back.
Got 18 on 3rd and 13. Kelly Bryant keeps it. He beats a Lockett to the corner. Touchdown, Clemson.
That's what Kelly Bryant brings to the table as a quarterback of this Clemson offense. Made the big play on 3rd down. This crowd noise was deafening. The pressure is there. And then that last play, a little shake, and then to the corner and into the end zone. And the Tigers like that take the lead.
The culture that the Tigers have, you know that there's going to be a big storm early on in a road game like this, a figurative one, not the big rain we're seeing right now. You have to answer those punches, and Clemson did. Took care of a couple of 3rd downs, and they gained the lead.
Yeah, we keep talking about Kellen Mond playing with poise. How about Kelly Bryant playing with poise? Look at the pressure right as he throws the ball. Matabuke hits him. He steps into that throw, and Amari Rodgers shows you what he can do. He's replacing Ray McCloud, and he brings a lot more size to that position and dangerous after the catch and what he can do. Now they're into the red zone, and that's the shake and bake right there on the linebacker, Alaka, and he gets to the corner and gives him the gig 'em in the corner, and then the thumbs down.
They have fun, don't they? Had a couple guys wearing cowboy hats getting off the plane when they got here.
And the progressive pylon cam with a good shot of that. Look at that, third and 13. That's impressive.
You got 64 on one of them and 18 on the other. One, Kwame Etwe, the backup running back, will return the kickoff, and he might have been better served to let that be a touchback. So he stopped at about the 16 as we check in with Adnan. All right, Adnan, and Greer put on a show last week against Tennessee. Youngstown State stumbled a little bit out of the gate, losing to Butler. Not the typical Youngstown State, at least in the early going, but even so, how much fun is Will Greer?
Oh, yeah. Hey, let's see how Jimbo Fisher, he's going to use his last time out here in the first half. Now he's a little more frustrated. I was going to say, I want to see how this A&M team responds. What kind of answer they can come up with.
And now settling back down to your point. Yeah. I think it's a really good point too, Kirk, because we saw him be really tough in practice this week, Maria.
Guys on the Clemson sideline, Kelly Bryant, Trevor Lawrence spending a lot of time together and learning from one another. And Kelly Bryant telling this Clemson offensive line, way to settle in. So you can see that they've dealt with a little bit of the 12th man, seeing all of the fans up and down, and now they feel as though they've settled in.
And a little communication there with Trevor Lawrence with a helmet on. And Dabo Sweeney telling us that he would play early in this game, and we'll see if this next series of 16 ends up going into the game.
And I asked Dabo, what if you have it going? He said, doesn't matter. When we plan to put him in, whenever that is, he's going in.
Yeah. This last sequence of plays is that you know, sometimes we watch games on a bus and somebody will mess up or somebody makes a play and you say that's why you're whichever team. To me, that's why you're Clemson. That drive right there is the culture of the Clemson football program, facing adversity.
Now Travion Williams slamming it up to the 20, picking up about 4 before he's stopped by Kendall Joseph.
Now the crowd's out of the game. After that drive, now it's about execution. No more about emotion. Now it's about who's the better team and who's going to execute tonight.
Just how stubborn will Texas A&M stay with the running games? We're inside a minute to play here in the first quarter.
Those are positive yards to be there at 2nd and 6.
Mon going to pull it down. Got a little running room. And Kellen gets up to the 30, and he'll have the first down.
Yeah, you're going to have to spy him. Kellen Mond's for real. I mean, he can pull that ball down, and he is a real threat. And he can do both. He can take off and run and get yards, and we've seen him pull it down, lure defenders to him, keep his vision, and throw. So the best answer for that is a spy, whether it's a nickelback or a safety or a linebacker. You can't let him get out and hurt you with his feet like this.
Final seconds of the first quarter. Aggies snap it. Mind on a little roll. He might have had more room had he just kept going upfield, but when he tried to get outside, it's tough to turn the corner on Austin Bryant. Entertaining first quarter in College Station. Clemson answered with a drive late in the quarter, and that is the end of the first quarter here in Aggieland. We'll be back right after these messages. Welcome back to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Hampton by Hilton in this presentation of the SEC on ESPN. SEC versus the ACC tonight at the home of the 12th man, Kyle Field in College Station. Number 2, Clemson with a 7-3 lead on Texas A&M. The Aggies open the second quarter, looking at a 2nd down and 15 from their own 25. Here's Kellen Mond. Wide of his target, Jay Sternberger, bring up 3rd and long.
Boy, how about the big fella in the middle, Dexter Lawrence? What a matchup with Eric McCoy. Watch him in the middle and watch the push. Even when you don't get a sack, you can affect the quarterback. My man is healthy this year and dominant. It's a good center from the SEC he's going up against. And look at him push all the way back to that quarterback. And you know Mond felt him. So again, not a sack, but affecting the quarterback there by Dexter.
Dexter much healthier this year. Most projections say he'll be the highest of the Clemson defensive linemen to be drafted, although Austin Bryant has made a couple of plays in the early going, and he knocks down Williams for another loss, and it'll be 4th and 1,000,000.
You may want to put the counter away. When you're pulling these linemen around, you may want to put that one away. Look how quick the Clemson defensive line gets in and shoots gaps. When you're pulling linemen, that play takes a while to develop, and it gives the defensive lineman with this kind of speed ability to get into the backfield and blow that play up. You're not going to see much of the counter the rest of the night.
And Austin Bryant has gotten around that corner a couple of times, and it's a lot to ask an offensive lineman to get out there and get to him. Amari Rogers, who made the big catch and run on 3rd down on Clemson's touchdown drive, is standing just about his own 36-yard line to receive the punt from Braden Mann. No pressure. Mann gets off a liner that goes right out of bounds, doesn't give Rogers a chance to return it, and Clemson is coming out with the freshman phenom Trevor Lawrence. He, in his debut against Furman, threw 3 touchdown passes. He was either the #1 or #2 high school player in America, depending on who you followed. Huge guy, great speed, ridiculous arm, and the future of the Clemson offense.
Yeah, 6'6", 215 pounds, and can throw the football, make any throw you want. This is kind of a predetermined thing for Clemson. They put Kelly Bryant out there for a couple series, and here comes Trevor Lawrence in the 3rd series. First time in front of a real atmosphere for this phenom. Let's see how he does.
He broke all of Deshaun Watson's passing records in the state of Georgia as a high schooler in Cartersville, Georgia. Lawrence going up top. Oh, and his first pass is complete, and it might be a touchdown to T. Higgins if he's got enough gas. Higgins trying to get to the corner. Is he going to make it? Touchdown, Tigers! Welcome to the big time, Trevor Lawrence. 64 yards.
Well, welcome to the big time, as you say, for number 16, and welcome T. Higgins to taking over that slot, that boundary receiver spot. Number 5 goes up and over the defender from A&M to make that play, and then shows speed after the catch to get it into the end zone. Oh, man. Ho-hum. Ho-hum. How many people? 100? How many? 102,000?
102,000. That's not a problem. Just zip that out there. They say he's a flatliner. Nothing affects him. He affected this game for sure.
Wow.
Trevor Lawrence, 1 play, 64-yard touchdown pass. Maria, what went on the Clemson sideline afterward?
Well, immediately after, Trevor Lawrence was all smiles, and you could see his head coach, Dabo Swinney, coming down the sideline, punched him right in the pads and saying, "This is what we do. That's what you do." And you could see everyone's excited on the sidelines for the true freshman. Kelly Bryant says he knows this entire offense. He couldn't even be mad when he knew he'd be sharing snaps with this guy.
And Maria, that's a great point. Kelly has handled this like a champ. I mean, Lawrence is ultra talented. We've seen good plays from Bryant now. Tremendous play from Lawrence, but let's not get lost in T. Higgins' this catch here.
And this has been a big emphasis, getting better at that boundary wide receiver spot and making big plays, getting the ball thrown vertically, the adjustment, locating the ball. Look at this. Look at the arms. Look at the length there. Higgins is 6'4", 210 pounds. He's put 15 pounds of muscle on. Then it's after the catch. He gets hit once. He shows speed. He gives a stiff arm at the end. So I know we're excited about Trevor Lawrence, but we got to get just as excited about the future of T. Higgins.
Well, he fits the mold of these perfect Clemson receivers they've had in recent years. Mike Williams,
Luke Hopkins, Mike Williams, Martavius Bryant. They've had some great ones.
Now Kellen Mond is hit from behind and sacked, and it's Justin Foster, one of the young guns up front for Clemson.
Isn't it funny how the offense on one side can start to trigger the defense? It's just speed, relentless attitude, rotating bodies in. This is Foster, who's 6'2", 260. So you got to deal with Farrell and Lawrence and Wilkins and Bryant, and then they bring in the next wave of very talented pass rushers.
Got Niles Pinckney inside. Lawrence and Farrell are still on the defensive left side, but Venables using that depth. Lawrence right in Mond's face. He tried to get it out quickly to Cameron Buckley, but just didn't have time to throw accurately.
Well, you're trying to throw a screen. Part of trying to throw a screen is you need time to kind of bait the defensive lineman, but they're in there so quickly. I mean, it's a race to the quarterback. You can't even kind of draw them towards you and eventually flip it over top of them. These guys have been talked about the entire preseason, and in the early part of this game reminding people that no, it's not hype, it's real.
Because of the injury to Dexter Lawrence last year, he was the only one of the four that didn't make a first-team All-American, and he'll likely be the highest draft pick. Third and long, Mond firing a dart, and it was almost intercepted by Tanner Muse.
Tanner Muse read this perfectly. Venables fired up because he knew that Muse had a chance there to come up with that play. Watch him read the eyes. He's right in the middle. He reads the eyes, sees that crossing route, immediately comes up. Ball goes through his hands. Actually, receiver Osmond got his hands on that football. Or Muse comes up with an interception. I mean, that drive from Kelly Bryant flipped this game emotionally like that. And of course the big play by Trevor Lawrence and T. Higgins helped.
And now Clemson's likely to get excellent field position as Braden Mann punts it away, and Amari Rogers makes the fair catch right at his 37-yard line, and we're going to see Lawrence again, we believe, as Clemson has a 14-3 lead.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by the Lincoln Motor Company and Midas. Trust the Midas touch.
This season, Taco Bell is celebrating student sections and passionate fans like the ones we have at Texas A&M by awarding the best student section of the year. Texas A&M student section already on the national watch list. Go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see how your school can compete. Aggies need that 12th man right now as Trevor Lawrence returns for his second series, and this is a dangerous time for Texas A&M. On the ground is Travis Etienne going up to the 43-yard line as we check in with Adnan. From the Cyhawk. Lawrence, back shoulder, fires it complete to DeAndre Overton. And he's ridden out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
That ball's coming out in a hurry. Quick release. Look, just watch his footwork. Watch the poise. He's on the road, tough environment. First time he's seeing it. The speed of the college game. Puts the ball right there where Overton can make a play on it. Gets right back to center, ready for the snap.
Dabo Swinney telling us that when Lawrence gets out in the open field running, to look out. The long strider.
Well, they say he can really go. They said they knew he was fast until they got into some of their scrimmages during August and saw him make some plays, and everybody, even the defense, the first team defense, which is one of the best in the country, even raised their eyebrows saying, wow, this kid can go.
The high school player in Cartersville, Georgia, the USA Today National Player of the Year. We're seeing that immense talent in his first few snaps here in Kyle Field. He just zinged that thing right through Cornell Powell. It was on target, but it had some steam on it.
Mike Elko right now trying to dial up some defensive calls that'll help him try to create some confusion. As good as Trevor Lawrence is, let's face it, every great high school quarterback gets into college. The challenging aspect is the speed of the game and the way they disguise and move after the snap. He's very well prepared, but that's what Mike Elko has to try to do, especially on third down.
Rush 4. Lawrence gets away, and he'll throw it out of bounds. So a good defensive stand by Texas A&M. It was Tyrell Dodson applying the pressure.
And here's an example. You have third down. You're going to show blitz here with Hines right here, and then he jumps out at the end, and just as the ball snapped. Actually, he's over here. He's going to come out over here and take away the tight end. So both linebackers up, Goodson and also Hines. At the snap of the ball, Hines jumps out and takes the tight end away, which happened to be where Trevor Lawrence was looking. So a good call that time by Mike Elko.
So Bryant has 2 possessions and leads him to 1 touchdown, and Lawrence in his first 2 possessions leads him to 1 touchdown, and Will Spires will punt it away. Rashawn Paul standing at his 5. Bit of a high snap, but the Aggies aren't pressuring. And Paul will make the fair catch inside his own 10. Aggies trying to get something going on offense. Under 12 minutes to go in the first half. The Clemson defense headed back out on the field. Dexter Lawrence will be out there shortly, not out there at the moment, as we take a look at tonight's PlayStation Player Index.
Big Dexter Lawrence, 6'4", 350 pounds. Mentioned earlier that he is now healthy. Last year, was dealing with some injuries and gutted through it, but probably was at about 85% most of the year. And he's healthy now. And by the way, they're rotating a lot of guys in and out and trying to stay fresh in this heat.
We haven't even seen 2 of the star freshman defensive ends that they've recruited, and we'll see at some point KJ Henry and Xavier Thomas, if not tonight, in the not too distant future, as Texas A&M really in need of a drive here.
Yeah, that was a nice job of getting to the edge. They've been trying those counter plays and letting the defensive speed get into the backfield. That time just kind of set the edge on the outside with the right tackle, Carson Green, and get your back to that corner and try to pick up some positive yards.
Kwame Etwe in the backfield. Travion Williams has largely been bottled up. Starting running back for Texas A&M. Keep it on the ground with Etwe, and Etwe powering ahead and keeping those feet churning and getting up close to the nice little yellow line they draw on the field for us to let us know if he gets the first down.
Gillespie leading the way there, the fullback. You know, this is an offensive line that prides itself. They've been challenged by Jimbo Fisher this week to win the line of scrimmage, which is a very tough thing to do. But they've got some size up there.
They needed to win it there to get the first down. We broke 1 tackle, but he will not break the second, third, fourth. Justin Foster hit him. Trey Lamar hit him. Wilkins was the first one that got back there to get him. And Venables' defense forces a 3 and out.
On 3rd and short, I've seen Christian Wilkins do this so many times. He understands he's got to be able to shoot a gap to be able to get into that backfield. See how quick he is off the line of scrimmage? That ball is snapped. He's immediately shooting between the right guard and the center, and he blew the play up and allowed the rest of the defense there to rally to the ball. Those are the things that make him so dangerous in the middle. He played outside last year, back to the middle this year, and so disruptive.
Braden Mann hoping to flip the field, and boy, did he ever. He just airmails Amari Rodgers. The ball back down inside the 15, and Rodgers is knocked down. A tremendous special teams play and a booming punt of 69 yards off the foot of Braden Mann.
That was exactly what they needed. This field was the field position starting to favor Clemson, and he comes through in a big way. We'll see who ends up coming back out at quarterback. Looks like Trevor Lawrence will come back out.
Here is the quarterback comparison so far. Kelly Bryant, 5 of 6. Trevor Lawrence 2 for 4 with a touchdown, maybe because one of Lawrence's drives lasted 1 play when he threw a touchdown pass. They're sending him back out there with some adversity now deep in his own end, inside his own 20. Lawrence. Boy, that was just a laser as he finds T. Higgins. Man, he threw the touchdown pass, too.
Yeah, we've already talked a lot about T. Higgins, but last year, Deion Kane, who's a very effective receiver, played that boundary wide receiver, but he was only 6'1", about 190 pounds. All 3 of those ex-receivers this year, the receiver into that short part of the field, are all 6'4", and that when Clemson has a big target at that spot, to me, that's a real key to their offense.
Lawrence that time didn't get the feet set. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
And the reason that's so important is you just saw back-to-back plays. They feel that they have to have a guy that can win one-on-one matchups with their size and speed, because if they win there consistently, it makes the defense have to go into the boundary with a safety and a corner, and then it opens up the field where those other 3 wide receivers are, including Hunter Renfrow, Amari Rodgers, and then you can do damage to the field. So a little bit of pick your poison when you have that X receiver as good as a guy like T. Higgins.
Play clock winding down toward 5 seconds. Clemson needs 1. Would appear likely they're going to use the timeout, and they do. So a 3rd down and 1 for the freshman quarterback and the Tigers, with Clemson on top of the Aggies 14-3. Heading in, I believe the last time Kentucky won in Gainesville was 1979. And Sugar Hill Gang had just released Rapper's Delight. So got a little something for Adnan there. 3rd and 1. See what Trevor Lawrence has for Texas A&M. And he's got nothing. He'll get nothing and like it. The play made by Otaro Alaka from his linebacker spot. And Clemson will have to punt it away.
This is a good job. We're bragging on Clemson shooting gaps. This is called shooting a gap as well by Alaka. Times it up perfectly. Center pulls out Fasanelli, and when he pulls out, there's nobody there to be able to deal with that speed. That's just well timed out. He's at the right place at the right time to keep Lawrence short of the 1st down. After the big punt by A&M, they get a 3-and-out. Now you're talking about maybe getting decent field position. We'll see what happens.
It's a great point, Kirk. The last couple of times the Aggies have had the ball, they've been backed up in their own end. Let's see if Will Spires can return the favor. Rashad Paul makes a fair catch right at his 37-yard line, and that's where the Aggies will put it into play. Our annual Week 1 ESPN Monday Night Football doubleheader is this Monday. Sam Darnold and the Jets taking on the Lions, 7:10 Eastern Time. Then at 10:15, it'll be the Rams and Gruden's Grinders. Big John Gruden returning. Both games will be simulcast on ESPN2 in Spanish and streaming live on the ESPN app. See Alaka, who made the play on Trevor Lawrence to give the Aggies the ball back.
We've not seen. We saw early in the game them try to get the ball thrown to the outside. Jamon Osborne has not had a chance. Number 2, he's their best receiver off to the left. To see if he gets a chance to try to make a play one-on-one.
Bond firing it to the outside, and it was knocked away from Buckley. A tremendous recovery from the athletic Isaiah Simmons.
Isaiah Simmons has moved to that kind of outside linebacker / nickel spot this year. He used to play back at safety. They just feel that he is so versatile. He can do so many things for them with his size at 6'2", 230 pounds, yet he can cover like a corner. And there he's all by himself with a fleet-footed wide receiver, and he timed it up perfectly to knock that ball away. I love the look of 11.
He is a redshirt sophomore from Olathe, Kansas. He was a long jumper during his redshirt year for Clemson, a terrific long jumper in high school, and spent a little time with the track team there. Travion Williams picks up about 5, maybe 6. It'll bring up 3rd down.
The last thing on Simmons is you just don't see safeties built like that covering downfield anymore. The trend in college football, the safeties and the corners are built pretty similarly. 5'11", 180, 190 pounds. It's rare to see 6'3", 225, 230 out there covering in space.
Gabe Williams 7, so they need 3 more. Aggies just 2 of 7 on 3rd down.
Left tackle moved, Dan Moore.
Moore saw that pressure coming to his outside. And
I don't blame him.
Full start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So now instead of 3rd and 3, back it up and you get 3rd and 8.
Yeah.
A&M has missed their last 5 3rd down opportunities.
That'll drive you crazy as a coach. I mean, 3rd and 3, the whole playbook opens up. 3rd and 8 against this defensive front and Brent Venables and the way he can blitz. Jimbo Fisher's scratching his head on that.
Mines had an 0 for missed his last 5. Now he's getting pressure. Bought a little time in the pocket and did the catch. Made it was deflected, and Trevor Wood came up with it. They'll give him the catch.
Yeah, caught a break there. Throws back against his body. Watch 90 in the background get up and knock that ball down, but he didn't get enough of it. And a big 6'6" tight end focuses in, gets away from J.D. Davis, and makes the catch right at the first down marker, and just enough for a first down.
He was trying to get it to Sternberger, one tight end, and Trevor Wood, the graduate transfer from Arizona, was there to get it on the rebound. So much needed first down for the Aggies. Mine, and now he's found his favorite target, Jamon Osborne, a 4-star recruit, high school teammate of mine at IMG Academy.
Watch Denzel Johnson right here start to cheat and come down. That's where Kellen Mond is looking. See him come up to Travion Williams. He comes up. He says, if you're going to come up, give that up. We'll take that passing lane. He pulls it out of Travion Williams, makes a great throw on time. And Osborne, we've been waiting for him. He finally comes up with a catch.
Pick up at 20. Back to the ground with Williams, and nothing doing. He's swallowed up by the Clemson defensive front. Austin Bryant was in there, so too was J.D. Davis.
You got to tip your cap to Jimbo Fisher. You understand when you're facing Brent Venables in this defense, you got to be balanced. You got to let him know you're going to keep reminding him that you're going to run the football, just to let him know that it's there. And he's better as a play caller, like anybody, when you can run and throw. But truth be told, with the way that defense is playing up front, he's got to try to make plays out in space. And getting his tailback, Travion Williams, if he can't run, get him out in the passing game.
Mond steps up, got Sternberger. And making a fine defensive play was Denzel Johnson. I thought he had Sternberger for a second, and Johnson closed quickly.
Boy, he responded so quickly to this. Usually you're concerned about number 8, trying to throw the ball over top of him. Not the safety breaking on this ball. Ball kind of hung up in the air, which gave Johnson a chance to break, but he did. He immediately recognized the route, put his foot in the ground, and changed directions to be able to get to that ball.
Now 3rd down and 10. Aggies caught a break on a 3rd down on the deflected ball. Can they make a play here? Good protection for Mond. Throwing in the middle. He was looking for Wood. There were a lot of Tigers around, including Kayvon Wallace and Denzel Johnson again, and it'll be 4th down.
There are a lot of Tigers, and there were 2 A&M wide receivers, a tight end and a wide receiver. You see the big tight end, Wood, but you're also going to see Buckley. And you got to be really careful against an athletic defense. It's reading the quarterback's eyes and throwing late over the middle. A&M fortunate that ball was not intercepted.
So Daniel LaCamera will try to get a field goal out of it. This will be from 50 yards. His career long is 52. LaCamera's blocked. And Clemson scoops it up and knocked out of bounds, in Dabo Sweeney. Special teams coming up with the play. Might have been Christian Wilkins that got a big paw on it.
You know, it was either Wilkins or Lawrence. They're both right in the middle, and sometimes those longer kicks, it's a lower trajectory. Trying to push that ball, kick that ball low. There's Wilkins. I think it's Dexter Lawrence. 90 right. got his hand up there.
I say Wilkins might have whiffed on it here. He's right there, and
yeah, big 90.
Good call, Coach.
Big 90 with that big forearm knocked that thing down.
That's a lot of forearm to miss, too, with him. So the Clemson defense with another stop. A&M's missed a short field goal and now had a long one blocked. And Kelly Bryant is back at quarterback for the Tigers. Lawrence had 3 series. Now they'll go back to the senior. Bryant keeps it. Kelly up to about the 47. Pickup of maybe 4. fade and good coverage over there by Charles Oliver, who was beaten for the touchdown earlier. 3rd and 6 coming.
Yeah, that's a matchup they're going to go after when they get Oliver man to man. These two corners, 21 has great size. That's Oliver at 6'2", and 29 Renfro also 6'2". It's a dangerous proposition leaving them on islands against these wide receivers.
Bryant way too high for Renfro, and it'll be 4th down, but Kelly got hit late.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Number 15, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Jeremiah Martin, the freshman out of San Bernardino, California, with the late hit on Bryant.
Yeah, I mean, the pressure was there. Boy, that's a really close call. I don't know. We had one last week that was called just because they came in low. I don't know. That's questionable at best, especially at a critical 3rd down.
A big break for Clemson as they get the call. The swing out to Rogers, and it almost was backwards, and A&M's picking it up as Kingsley Keke. Keke's going to run it back. I'm sure they're going to look at it again and see if it was a backwards pass, and most seem to believe that it went forward. They let it play out. So we got a couple of officiating issues to look at here.
I think that ball looked forward to me.
I thought so initially. It was close.
And it looked like he threw it at about the 44-yard line.
Really on the field as the pass was forward and incomplete. It's 2nd down at the previous spot.
Yeah, that's the forward pass.
Yeah, there's no.
I don't know why the shenanigans to let him run all the way down the whole field and get tired out. Should have just blown the whistle.
Okay, yeah.
No?
That's not going to take long. They're going to look at this. So let's hit a couple of things with Dave Kataya, our officiating expert. And Dave, I don't think there's much to talk about here. What about the previous play? Kirk had a question about whether that was indeed roughing the passer.
Okay, take a look at this now. It's not that late, I agree, but watch what the defender does, and I think this is what they called. Watch him come in. He lets him go, and he lunges and pushes him down. He needs to hold up. Okay, I think it's a good call.
Really?
Yeah, because he launched into him.
I mean, I'm a quarterback. I like to take care of those guys, but gray area.
Well, that's a good point.
That's a good point. Area.
Well, that's what they took care of him, and just as we suspect, the Clemson offense is still out on the field.
It's 14-3. This is a big series for both teams. Clemson can go up 21-3, take this crowd completely out, and A&M needs to keep this crowd in this game.
Travis Etienne. Etienne still on his feet. Etienne inside the 20, and he couldn't get away from Donovan Wilson, the only thing that kept him from scoring, and Clemson knocking on the door again. Etienne got a great block from T. Higgins.
He sure did. T. Higgins been doing it all night. I'll tell you, Etienne's a different guy this year. Last year was about that one step and go. He's running through tackles now. He's been in the weight room after a true freshman year last year. He is a complete package. Great block by T. Higgins and physical running by Travis Etienne.
28-yard pickup for the sophomore from Jennings, Louisiana. Kelly Bryant snowed under.
We talked so much about Clemson's defensive line. You and I love Dalen Mack, 34. Last year he wore 5. Watch him get a push. Watch him shoot gaps. I mean, that is a good job, and I think he's really bought in to what A&M is doing defensively with Mike Elko. He used to have a tendency to play a play or two and then take 3 or 4 off. He's bought into getting his body in better shape, and he's being rewarded by being able to be more effective for longer amounts of time out on the field.
Adam Choice, one of the 3 or 4 running backs that Clemson can roll out there and really not lose much.
Worry about the tempo and the fatigue of A&M. They're trying to rotate bodies in and out, but the up-tempo offense of Clemson can wear anybody down, let alone when you don't have a lot of depth to rotate onto that field.
The 3rd down and goal. Dabo's probably going to call a timeout here, it looks, just from the way behavior's going on the sidelines and on the field. Nobody in any real hurry. They'll let it wind down to 2:34. And they'll call a timeout as they try to get this 3rd and goal play together. Let's take a look at tonight's unexpected outcome, brought to you by ExxonMobil. We go back to 1998. Number 2 Nebraska came to Kyle Field. The Aggies would knock off the Cornhuskers 28-21.
When I think of 1998 in Texas A&M, I think of the big upset against Kansas State in the Big 12 championship game. That was a huge upset that day.
It was indeed. It was the highest ranked team ever defeated by A&M at the time. It also snapped a 19-game winning streak for the Cornhuskers and a 40-game regular season conference winning streak. That was back when A&M was in the Big 12 with Nebraska.
Who'd Brandon Stewart hit in that Big 12 championship game?
Sir Parker. Were you testing me? Or
I know you know. I know you know. That was a day when everybody was losing. Remember Miami played UCLA. They beat UCLA down at the Orange Bowl. And Mississippi State gave Tennessee all they could handle.
Tennessee had a few escapes that year on their way to the BCS championship game. First year of the BCS, won the title by beating Florida State. Now 3rd down and goal for Kelly Bryant. Choice, lots of room, and he's right on the doorstep. So what are you going to do, Coach?
Think about this. You're up 14-3 on the road. You deferred. You get the ball to start the second half. You got a chance to go up 21-3, and then get the ball back to start the second half. He's bringing the big fellas in. This sends a message to your team.
And look who's coming in. You've got Christian Wilkins and Dexter Lawrence up front. Kirk, we were at practice this week. They'll throw it to Wilkins. Keep an eye on that, or will they just power it straight ahead? Instead, they fumble the snap, and the Aggies are going to get a break and a stop.
I don't think that ball ever got up. I don't think Fasanelli ever got the ball up to Kelly Bryant. Watch the ball. I don't think Kelly Bryant ever touched the ball. I don't think he ever had a chance to be able to secure that ball. And all Choice can do is jump on top of the ball. I don't blame him for going for it. You're up 14-3. You get the ball to start the second half, but obviously frustrated. That play never had a chance.
Hey, look, that was worst-case scenario. And worst-case scenario is you put this great defense back out on the field, and A&M's backed up inside its own 5-yard line.
Yeah, with a minute 54, Jimbo Fisher's got to be thinking, okay, Clemson has the one timeout. Let's try to pick up this first down and not have to punt the ball.
Travion Williams, short pickup as we check in with that now.
You know what this first half has reminded me of watching this defensive line? When you think about them, you think of their agility and their quickness and athletic ability. Man, they hit you at the line of scrimmage when you run the ball.
Oh, mine, that was in danger of having a safety by getting tackled in the end zone. Man, they were through there fast, Herbie.
That was Farrell that got in and blew up Williams, who was just minding his own business, carrying out a fake right there. Bang! And then here comes Tristan Wilkins. I mean, they got bad intentions when they chase you down. This is not a finesse front four.
You know, there's some that say they like to go laterally. That doesn't mean that they won't hit you. And Clemson used the timeout to stop the clock. Just over a minute to play in the first half. 3rd down and 5 facing the Aggies. And after missing the opportunity on the doorstep, Clemson hoping to get the ball back and maybe a chance to score again before halftime.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They've got to try to come up with a first down, try to work the clock.
So 3rd and 5. That was the fumbled snap. Really kept the Aggies in this game at 21-3 at halftime. If Clemson had been able to convert there, we really don't like A&M's chances to come back, but They've moved the ball at times. They just haven't been able to finish drives.
Yeah, and Clemson, to their credit, they've come up with big plays, whether it's been offense or defense, special teams with a blocked field goal. You're going to have to run the ball here, I would think. Minute 03, Clemson out of timeouts, let the clock work down. Can't imagine him throwing the ball here in this situation. Maybe.
You mentioned earlier they're approaching this. They're still in the building stage. Nothing to lose. So they'll go quarterback draw, and that is not going to work with the kindergarten cop, Christian Wilkins, showing up.
I tell you, the NFL will love Christian Wilkins because he can play outside and inside. I don't mind you. That sums it up when you watch 42 and those big fellas out there. If you're an A&M fan.
Okay, there's about 18 seconds difference between the play clock and the game clock right now. So Clemson will have an opportunity to get a couple of plays depending on what happens with this punt return from the always dangerous Amari Rodgers. Now, Braden Mann had a booming punt that flipped the field last time, and boy, could A&M use that again.
Jimbo Fisher was getting the attention of the punter there, telling him to just wave it off, wave it off, wave it off. And then you saw Mann kind of give the wave it off sign to the snapper, something that you work on in practice, and he was willing to, instead of being a little bit confused, let's make sure you're going to lose half a yard. Let's just make sure everybody is lined up and ready to go.
Set and return here or going hard for the block?
With 18 seconds, I'd set up a return.
A little shorter space on the snap there with the penalty. But Clemson retreating, although they did get a little pressure on it. Mann does it again. Oh, he did it again. But this time Rodgers will chase it down on the hop. That is close to a block in the back, and Rodgers gets it back up to the 35. And Braden Mann's made a couple of plays, couple of punts in this first half that has really helped Jimbo Fisher's team.
Yeah, I forgot Mann was back there punting. Let me change my answer. Let's try to block it. I don't know if you get much of a chance. This is with a short snap, too. I mean, he has been a weapon tonight. Then he's going to hustle. He better have his head on a swivel. I mean, my man's getting down there trying to hit somebody.
He went 74 on that punt that time. It was 69 earlier, so it's been quite a first half for the Texas A&M punter. Now Lawrence is in there, but Clemson will keep it on the ground, and Adam Choice gets the first down, but the time is going to expire here in the first half.
I thought there might be 1 second for Trevor Lawrence to throw that thing about 70 yards in the air on a Hail Mary.
I would like to have seen it just for the fun of it.
Me too.
You know? Dexter Lawrence and the Clemson defense, after giving up some yardage on the opening drive, really stiffened, came up with big plays when they needed to. Tigers will have the ball first to start the second half as the Aggies go in, try to regroup a bit. Both Clemson quarterbacks had their moments in the first half as we go down to the field in Maria Taylor.
Can't wait now.
I got you, Coach. You said you want your team to process and move on. So what do you want them to take away from the first half?
Same thing. We had chances. We got to execute in the red zone. We had a couple plays to make. We had a blocked field goal. We're right in the game. We're 2 scored. We're 2 plays away from being in the game. We've had some mess-ups as far as communication on the sideline. It's real quick, but it's relaxed. We're in the football game. Play a great second half right here. Make some adjustments. Go out and get a defensive stand and go play.
All right, thanks for your time, Coach.
Thank you.
Jimbo Fisher, nice and calm as he tries to build this program. That's the end of the first half. Clemson, number 2 in the land, up 14-3. Mercedes-Benz halftime report is next as we go to Adnan Furman.
Welcome back to the Dr. Pepper Championship Drive Game of the Week.
We're going to be dominant. It's going to be from start to finish.
Believe in what you do. Have passion for what you do. Love what you do.
Walked all night, warriors. Head high, head high, head high. Walked all night, warriors. Head high, head high.
Third quarter just about to start from College Station. Welcome back to ESPN College Football Prime Time, presented by Hampton by Hilton. And this presentation of the SEC on ESPN. Clemson, number 2 in the nation, with a 14-3 lead on Texas A&M. Reese Davis and Kirk Herbstreit here. A&M had chances, couldn't finish drives. What do they need to do better in the second half?
Well, I think the first thing is they don't have to go into desperate mode. I mean, it's 14-3. It's if you're able to get a stop, Clemson gets the ball here first. Able to get a stop, get the crowd into the game. They got to be able to make some big plays on offense. Kellen Mond holds the key in my mind, running and throwing.
Let's go down to the field. Maria Taylor.
Well, coming out of the locker room, Dabo Swinney saying that they have to fix the Clemson things, a.k.a. the things that the Tigers can control. He pointed to 3 missed plays, one on 3rd and 1, and he felt like his offensive line didn't block the gap when they had the opportunity and ended up with a tackle for loss. Also dropping a layup, and we saw the drop snap earlier. Now, he did say the quarterbacks on rotation. He didn't even know who was going to take the snap coming back out onto the field. He said he'll continue with that rotation here in the second half.
Well, if Dabo still doesn't know, Maria, I'll tell him it's Trevor Lawrence, the freshman, who they send out there first. Tavian Feaster, we haven't called his name much tonight. He carries for the first time.
Yeah, if you're just tuning in, Trevor Lawrence came in the 3rd series, and this was his very first play. Puts the ball up in the air, drops it in the bucket. T. Higgins makes an exceptional play to high point the ball, something Clemson wants to see. That's that receiver into the boundary, make plays. This is what he's going to do. This is what separates him. The quick release and the timing to get the ball out as quickly as he does.
And Kirk, while we were showing that package, there was a quick release from the center, and Lawrence couldn't handle the high snap. They had to jump on it, so it's going to be 3rd down and about 16.
Feaster makes a great play. That ball completely went by Lawrence, and if Feaster didn't have his eyes up, that ball would have gone by him.
The Aggie crowd behind the D. Draw. Nothing. Feaster wrapped up a 3 and out.
You just asked me, what do you have to do to get a chance to be able to come back and maybe win this game? First thing you do is get a 3 and out. You get the crowd into the game. You come up, you win the battle at the line of scrimmage. Really good job of getting off blocks and using the quickness. The linebacker that time, Tyrell Dodson, actually gets in there and is able to get to Feaster in the backfield.
Will Spires going to punt for Clemson. Rashad Paul, the sophomore from Fremont, Texas, about 45 minutes up Highway 6 from here in College Station. Paul driven inside his 35. First guy misses. Paul looking for room. Tough return by Rashad Paul, gets it up to about the 43-yard line. And Texas A&M will have its first possession of the second half with very good field position for Jimbo Fisher.
Remember, Jimbo Fisher's first couple series were pretty good. They were mixing the run with the pass. Kellen Mond was kind of in rhythm, making some good throws. They were converting on 3rd down. And see what he does as far as making adjustments. He's always known as one of the better coaches at making halftime adjustments and trying to find a weakness or potential weakness of a defense.
Staying out of 3rd and long would help. Aggies just 3 of 10 on 3rd down in the first half. On 1st down, Mond to throw. Wants to take a shot. Throws, and he's got his man. It's Osborne.
I mean, that's a heck of a throw. But I don't know if Kellen Mond lost a safety here or not. Watch the safety right here sneak back and get back in coverage. Throws it over top of Tanner Muse and also is able to throw it away from the corner, and a heck of a catch by Osborne to go up there and make that play.
He dropped that thing in, picked up 26. I think you're right. I don't think he saw it. Yeah.
We'll give him credit.
He only saw one of them.
He navigated it. He felt it.
Dropped that thing in the bucket. Travion Williams. He didn't find a lot of running room in the first half, but poked his way forward. Williams averaged just under 1.5 yards a carry on his 10 carries in the first half, but pick up a 4 there.
Watch Sternberger here make this block. Does a really good job of Farrell, who's been in the backfield. We've seen him make a living back there in the first half. This time the junior college transfer does what he needs to do to make that block.
Williams right at Clemson. He's going to be short of the first down. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 2.
It's the 3rd time they have been inside the Clemson 25-yard line. They've not been able to come away with touchdowns, only the 3 points.
And here is a 3rd down opportunity. You see the difference between Clemson and Northwestern State, the week 1 opponent. But this is a 3rd and manageable. But it's not manageable when Clemson gets that kind of penetration. Kayvon Wallace coming up from the secondary.
Watch on the far left, the safety Wallace, who Reese just talked about. Nobody picks him up, and he's able to get back into that backfield. Here's the thing. You talk about manageable. I think 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2 against this defensive line could be tougher than 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, because they're going to walk 9 guys up. They're going to shoot gaps. Makes it really hard on the offensive line.
A&M will try a field goal. Daniel LeCamera is an excellent kicker, but he's had a rough night tonight. He missed a short one, had a long one blocked. This one is right down the boulevard. And the Aggies draw to within 1 possession. A 14-6 game in the early moments of the 3rd quarter. Clemson on top of Texas A&M, 14-6 in the 3rd quarter. We welcome you back to our Dr. Pepper Championship Drive game of the week. And there are the 2 Clemson quarterbacks, Trevor Lawrence and Kelly Bryant.
All indications from Dabo Swinney and the offensive coaches always talk about how these guys support each other and they have each other's back, and I'm sure they do. This is, you're in a tight game on the road, and that's where you kind of start to find out who your quarterback is in these kind of situations.
Cornell Powell is the deep man for Clemson. Powell about 3 yards deep, going to bring it out. Oh, and did he get lit up? Howdy! Donovan Wilson, the starting safety, comes roaring down the field.
Ooh, that is a big hit. There's some pads popping tonight. Love to see us. Oh, that ball almost came out. Good job by Powell holding on to that football.
And how about that with the shoulder, too? And it is Trevor Lawrence coming back out again.
Remember, Dabo Swinney made it abundantly clear to everybody. You're going to play them both early, kind of figure out who's the guy, and go from there.
Lawrence, under heat, throws a dirt ball. Looking for his tight end, Mylan Richard.
That was one of the first times we've seen him feel a little bit of urgency in the pocket. He had to slide away from the pressure. Wasn't able to get his feet set, threw it right into the ground.
The lock is coming. ETN gets it. Aggies everywhere. 3rd and long coming.
This defense right now is locked in. They're flying around. Watch them getting off blocks. Defensive back here, you see him flying around, getting up there. Tyree Johnson, 3, actually forced that ball back inside. This is the way this defense played in the first couple of series.
Here comes pressure. Lawrence steps away from it. Looks for Hunter Renfrow. They call it a catch. It's going to be just short of the 25-yard line, and it's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be quite enough for the first down. It's not. It's going to be a couple of yards short.
How about Mike Elko trying to take advantage? Even though Trevor Lawrence is immensely talented, he's still inexperienced. He showed blitz to the quarterback's right, and then at the snap of the ball, he brought it from the left. That's why he was flush from the pocket. Good effort there by Renfrow to get his feet down, but as you said, Reese, a little short. Defense does their job again.
Will Spire standing at his 10 to punt it. Rashad Paul from his 26. Got a little alley. And another good return from Rashad Paul. Gets it up to the 40-yard line. A 50-yard punt. 14-yard return. And momentum seems to be swinging to the Ags.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by E-Trade, the original place to invest online, and Mazda, feel alive.
College Football Playoff National Championship Trophy presented by Dr. Pepper will be awarded Monday night, January 7th. The National Championship game goes to the Bay Area. Semifinals this year on December 29th. It's a Saturday now. The Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic in Arlington, the Capital One Orange Bowl in Miami. These two guys, Jimbo Fisher, Dabo Sweeney, two of the four active coaches to win a national championship. Those Jimbos came before the playoff era. Mond taking a shot deep. It's incomplete. 2nd and 10 as we check in with Adnan. And then the Trojans had difficulty stopping UNLV on the ground last week. And Bryce Love getting started already with more yards than he had in his opening game against San Diego State. 2nd down and 10 for Kellen Mond and the Aggies. Pressure from Cleveland Farrell, and they dump it to Travion Williams, and he's got helpers in front. Williams into Clemson territory and inside the 45.
What a call here by Jimbo Fisher. I want to know how Mond got that ball off. Clemson was all over him. Again, they're trying to do a screen, but Clemson's defensive front gets in there so quickly it makes it very hard to time up the screen. Watch this defensive line. See how he wants to backpedal, but Farrell's already there. Somehow he just flips it over his shoulder. Watch this. Just a little flip over top of Farrell. And there's Williams with a convoy there to try to pick up some yards for the first down.
I don't know that we can underscore how good that was, Kellen Mond. Back to the ground, Williams getting close to the 40.
That was some pushing and shoving. It looked like the receiver Osborne too kind of got locked up there with Tanner Muse. Tanner Muse didn't care for it. Pushed him pretty hard there at the end of the play. Right here, there's Osborne. He kind of gets locked up. He grabs on to Tanner Muse. And Tanner Muse says, no, don't be doing that. Shoves him, and that was the reaction because it happened near the A&M bench. They saw the shove, but they didn't see what Osborne had done prior to that.
That's a good play on.
Yeah, play on.
On the roll, Mond tosses it up in the stands with Kendall Joseph chasing him, trying to make sure he saved a yard or two. It's 3rd down.
Good job by Clemson stringing that out. You had the receiver covered that time by A.J. Terrell, and you also had a linebacker, Kendall Joseph, running with Kellen Mond.
Herbie, he was attempting to save that yardage, but I think he got out of bounds before he did it. He lost 3, so it's 3rd down and 11 now.
I don't know if he stepped out of bounds before he threw it.
Well, maybe.
I don't think he did.
At any rate, he lost some yardage and it's 3rd down and 11. Mond buying a little time. Trey Lamar after him. Mond gets the 1st down, and Kellen Mond gets down close to the 20-yard line. Osborne, we got tangled up, gave him a block, and now Mond appears to have cramped up as he was coming off the sideline.
Oh, this is big-time play. We talked about his creativity on 3rd down. Clemson coming after him, but they don't have a spy. Playing man-to-man coverage. Trey Lamar at 250 pounds can't make that play. Osborne picks up a block there, and he gets down the sideline. But as you said, he goes down after the scramble.
And Nick Starkel is the backup. He started several games in his career at Texas A&M, was in a quarterback battle with Kellen Mond. He's thrown for nearly 1,800 yards last year, 14 touchdown passes. Was injured and missed time last year, and we hope that's all it was with Mond. That's what it appeared to be as he was coming back toward the huddle. He appeared to just like it was
they're
cramp.
pushing his toes back. It looks like a cramp. I applaud him for being able to get through this rush because they stunt, move some people. Look in the background, though, at the man-to-man coverage. All those defensive backs are chasing the man that they're covering. There's the block by Osborne. Mullen really never had a chance to get off of that block, but if you let an athletic quarterback get out on third down, he's going to pick up yards unless you can spy with somebody and try to take that run away. There's Lee. Uh-oh, Scooter. Look out now.
Lee Corso on the side. And he knows you never go backwards. You got to go sideways.
He's down there coaching. He's got his, look at him. He's got his sneaks on. He's down there coaching. Whoever he picks, that's who he's coaching. And you'd think he's on the coaching staff. He takes it so serious.
Hey, let's go down to Maria Taylor.
Yeah, I was right on the sideline as Kellen Mond was getting stretched out, and he told the training staff he's fine, just needed to be stretched out. Looked like a cramp down here on the field.
Okay, Maria, see if they can get Kellen stretched out, hydrated. In the meantime, after the 23-yard pickup, Nick Starkel gets thrown into the fire.
You would think with a backup quarterback coming in for his first play, little handoff here, but because of the experience he talked about, it would be very Jimbo Fisher to come in here throwing.
And they do, but Cleveland Farrell gets it, and it was picked up out of the air by Justin Foster. Disastrous play for the Aggies.
I just said, it wouldn't surprise you if you might see this play. Farrell again able to get through this offensive line. Just a mismatch against Dan Moore. Watch to the left, 65. Outside move back to the inside. Here's a quarterback fresh off the bench. Ball is free in the air. And the backup's defensive end, Foster, pretty athletic move there with the ball in the air for a 250-pound guy to come up with it.
They just keep rolling in defensive linemen who can make plays. Foster makes one. Farrell has been everywhere. He was the one that chased down Mond on the previous play.
Kelly Bryant's back into the game.
And back and forth with quarterback. Switch goes for the Tigers. Bryant going to take a shot. He's got a man out there. It's T. Higgins, and they flip the field with a huge offensive play. Now Higgins has caught one from both quarterbacks.
Well, he's a physical receiver. He might have been a little too physical there, but there's a no call. Matched up against a safety. This is a dangerous play for A&M. They lose the ball. Boy, I think he may have gotten away with a push-off there against Carper, the safety.
I don't think there's any question about it, but he picked up half 100. And the Tigers are at the 20. There goes Kelly Bryant inside the 15.
Kelly Bryant, they bring him in and don't hesitate to get aggressive. Higgins is going to become as big a story in 2018 for this offense as any player on the team. You create those one-on-one matchups, defenses are in trouble trying to stop the 6'4" T. Higgins.
Travis Etienne. Tyrell Dodson wrestles him down just inside the 10-yard line, but it'll be first and goal for Clemson.
It's amazing how quick the game can change. Backup quarterback comes in, get aggressive, take a chance. Instead of conventional wisdom, run the ball. They try and throw, catch Clemson off guard. It doesn't work. Turnover. Next play, Bryant goes deep. They get away with that offensive pass interference, and now they're inside the 10-yard line. Blink of an eye.
It's a touchdown, DeAndre Overton, but there is a flag down on the play.
I think they called this one right. This one's on Texas A&M.
Holding, number 21, defense. That penalty is declined. Touchdown.
By the way, you see where they went? Even with Higgins down, they go back to the boundary wide receiver, the X. And Overton 6'4", just like Higgins. They think that that's a mismatch. And how about Kelly Bryant? Dealing with this crowd, dealing with the adversity of being on the bench and dealing with Trevor Lawrence coming in and kind of that wow factor. He didn't go in the dumps. He didn't feel sorry for himself. He comes back out, 4 plays, 70 yards, and a touchdown.
that takes some serious toughness, particularly at that position. First, the Tiger defense made a play. Foster was there to grab it, and this is a laser, and it is in a tight window as Overton makes the grab, and Clemson stretches its lead to 15. They're partying at Clemson, Week 1 NFL Sunday. Kick it off with Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 Eastern on ESPN. Among the things Sam and the gang will have, Ben Roethlisberger sitting down for a one-on-one with Boomer, Chris Berman, and Deshaun Watson on his return to the field with Marty Smith Sunday on ESPN and on the ESPN app. Kelly Bryant just threw a touchdown pass. Rashad Paul bringing it back the other way for the Aggies. Good coverage from Clemson. He gets just across the 20 as we go to Adnan Virk.
Hey, Martin, go on.
All right, Adnan. My partner up here, Herbstreit, he can keep an eye on everything. He's got 17 monitors every game here.
Talking about head on a swivel, we got it all covered up here.
Kellen Mond, after leaving for a play with cramps, one that turned out to be a disastrous play, with Nick Starkel losing the ball and called it an interception, but Mond is back. And Mond has a man wide open out there. It's Cameron Buckley, and Buckley's on his way. One man to beat. Davon Wallace saves a touchdown, but the Aggies try to answer.
Great job of locating Buckley, who is a bust in coverage. Nobody sees him breaking free. You'll see him right here. And eventually, Kellen Mond sees him and throws a laser right to him. Buckley's had a big night tonight.
Thought it would be Osborne, but it's been Buckley. 4 previous trips inside the 25 for A&M, and they have a mere 6 points. They have to finish this one. Kellen Mond into the end zone, puts it in traffic, touchdown, Texas A&M. It's Kendrick Rogers.
I'm going to tell you something, Breeze. I want you to watch Kellen Mond and how far he's come in this offense. Watch his head. Watch where he looks. Looks right. Doesn't panic. Gets to the outside. Look at the background. Look at that defense. Trying to make that throw. He knows he has to put it up high. It's exactly what he did for the touchdown there to Rodgers.
I'm going to say that's a really good time for your first career touchdown. And you can give her a little sugar right now because the Aggies are back in it. Couple of receivers stepping up big time when Texas A&M needed. Cameron Buckley made a 69-yard catch. He got 3 catches for 84. And then Kendrick Rogers with the touchdown grab in traffic. And man, they are alive at Kyle Field. Cornell Powell will field it, let it come out to the 25.
You got a receiver way at the top. But what I want you to appreciate is the courage this took for Mond to sit, then pull out, and now watch right here. Look at all these white jerseys that he's trying to navigate to be able to throw that football to. Somehow he gets it in there. This is right after a big play. The very next play, you've got 3, 4, 5 white jerseys, and the focus by Rodgers to high point the ball. It's 6-3. Great play by the Aggies.
Kelly Bryant, who just led a drive for Clemson, is back, and now he'll try to answer. Hunter Renfro's behind everybody, and Renfro's got it in A&M territory to 35.
How about this? I mean, it's going back and forth, You think about Hunter Renfrow as a slot guy. This time he's going downfield. There's nobody better at focusing on a football than Hunter Renfrow. Nice job of showing his versatility going downfield to make a play. And a good throw by Kelly Bryant.
Bryant keeps it. Kelly Bryant gets the first down at the 25. One more move and he might have run for a while.
I know we're enamored with Trevor Lawrence and in his future, but there's something that feels comfortable about Kelly Bryant being the quarterback right now for Clemson. 14 games of experience last year. Ted took this team all the way to the semifinal against Alabama. Been there and done that. Looks to be in command watching him run this offense.
Little trick play. Hunter Renfro's going to throw it to Bryant. Bryant is broken up. I think Dabo Swinney spent some time visiting on a trip with Doug Peterson this year. Maybe he picked up that play from the Eagles.
Yeah, he might have come up with that one. I know he's buddies with Doug Peterson. And you could see this being developed. And I think you saw the defense do a really good job. The linebacker that time, Dodson, almost came over and made the play to intercept that football. Look at 25 go up. The progressive pylon cam to knock that away.
A half roll to his left. Amari Rogers spins away from a tackler. Third and short coming up for the Tigers.
I don't know how Clemson's going to handle it in the future, but I don't know if people can feel it at home, but you can sure see it from up here. Both these quarterbacks are incredibly talented, but it's hard to take away that experience. There's something that allows the game to slow down and allows you to make quicker decisions. Kelly Bryant's making quicker decisions tonight than what we saw from him late in 2017.
Trevor Lawrence will be the future Sunday, but that doesn't appear to be right now. Bryant's balling.
You can run here.
First down, Renfro squirting and getting inside the 10-yard line. It'll be first and goal for the Tigers.
Of the call, little pick here against man-to-man. Off to the left, see two receivers there. Two defenders playing man-to-man. Well executed. Great call by Tony Elliott and Jeff Scott, the co-offensive coordinators.
All of a sudden, we have a little offensive back-and-forth battle breaking out. ETN trying the middle of that Aggie defense. Picked up one, maybe two. Kingsley Kiki on the stop. Inside 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Second and goal for Clemson. Little shuffle pass, pushing toward the goal line. Not quite getting there as ETN. It'll be third and goal.
ETN is getting behind his pads and running with a real passion. Last year, we just got so excited to see him, the recruiting story, the speed, the big smile after he'd score. He spent his time in that beautiful weight room that you and I visited on Wednesday and took advantage of his time in there. He is a physical back to go along with that speed.
They'll toss it to him, to the corner, into the end zone. Travis Etienne, and Clemson answers the A&M touchdown.
I think he gave Johnny Manziel a little shout out there. He talked about his power, but he still has the speed to get to the corner. Richards out front, the tight end. There's just nobody. He really didn't need to block anybody. Just the speed there. It's tough to stop that.
Progressive pylon cam. Etienne will run by. Oh. Aggies diving, coming into your living room. Hugel puts it through, and the lead is back to 15.
Great teams answer on the road. A&M had just scored a touchdown. They're back in the game. The crowd's going wild. And all Clemson does is go 8 plays, 75 yards on the road in 3 minutes, and ETN takes it into the end zone. That's what great teams do.
Mylan Richard got just a little bit of the defensive back end.
Little shout out.
Hey, don't forget, Johnny's on a bye week this week from the Canadian Football League. There's talk that he might show up. Haven't seen him yet. 15th career rushing touchdown for ETN.
Got some points now, Reese.
Defensive struggle, really. The exception of a couple of big plays from the Tigers through the first half. But this third quarter, offenses are figuring it out. And A&M, with just over a minute to play in the third quarter, needs to do it again. It'll come out to the 25, gives us time to check in with Adnan.
Come on. Adnan, come on now. 13-7.
Wow. You know who used to play quarterback at Samford, don't you? Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah.
He also started his coaching career there. Obviously, had great success in his coaching career at Florida State. More pressing matters on the mind of Jimbo now. Mond gets drilled, but got it to Travion Williams. Williams gets by Simmons and gets it across the 30-yard line.
There's Xavier Thomas, number 3, who puts the boom on Kellen Mond. And just when you think you've got enough of Bryant and Wilkins and Lawrence and Farrell, here comes the latest 5-star defensive lineman, Thomas, who, by the way, is about 260 pounds and runs a 4.5.
What's the number?
That's safety corner speed at 260.
Is the number 4 player in the ESPN rankings. They say he is going to be a superstar, and he's getting some important snaps here. But Travion Williams finds a crease in that Clemson defense, and it's a first down.
Nice job by the right side of that offensive line. Got a good push down on Thomas and company. Open that up, one of the few times we've seen Travion Williams have a little room to run.
Not sure that the Aggies are going to snap it again here in the third quarter. So we'll head to the final 15 minutes. Texas A&M still in it. That's the end of the third quarter in College Station. 28-13, Clemson's up. Can the Aggies give them a finish in Aggieland tonight? Starting the fourth quarter in College Station, Clemson on top 28-13 as we welcome you back to the Dr. Pepper Championship Drive Game of the Week. Presentation of the SEC on ESPN, and as they do between the third and the fourth quarter, they were sawing off the horns and hoping they can lift their team to a fourth quarter rally next Saturday. College game day headed to Fort Worth campus at TCU for the show, 9 a.m. Eastern time on ESPN. And then the game will be in Jerry World. Fourth quarter starting, Kellen Mond getting away from pressure, trying to find Travion Williams out of the backfield, and he was covered by that freshman defensive lineman, Thomas, and flags came flying in at the end as Xavier, big freshman out of Florence, South Carolina.
Pass interference. Number 3, defense. Automatic. First down.
You know, Brent Venables will do this. He'll bring pressure from here, and then he'll drop his defensive end just to try to create some confusion. This is the big freshman. He's matched up with a running back. Kellen Mond sees it, tries to make the throw, and because the ball was thrown so poorly, here's a defensive end at 260 pounds, grabs a hold of that running back around the neck there, and an obvious pass interference.
And just the second penalty of the night against the Tigers. A pretty clean game from them thus far. Wilkins right on Mond, and Williams is loose. Travion Williams inside the 30, but there is a flag back there about the spot that Mond got hit.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number 42. Defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Yeah, Christian Wilkins has been in that backfield all night, but he elevates and actually takes it. If he stopped here, he's fine. But look at that. He's trying to put all his weight on top of him to knock him out. I mean, Christian Wilkins is a great player, but you can't do this. Let go now. He goes airborne with his feet to try to bring all his weight down on top of the quarterback.
Just after I said they play a clean game, and a veteran guy who's played so many snaps, who knows better, puts his team in a terrible position as the Aggies are now knocking on the door again at the 15 after the 17-yard reception and what turned out to be a 14-yard penalty. Mine throws it away.
That last play, I know we focused there on the late hit by Christian Wilkins, but Jimbo Fisher, he's kind of holding back a few aces. He's holding back a few 2 or 3 or 4 plays that he hasn't shown all night. I kept waiting to see, when is Trevion Williams, who's not having a great night running the ball, going to get a little bit more involved in the passing game, get him the ball in space. And on that penalty, it was a nice little slip screen to do that very thing and to give him room to run against those linebackers.
The only touchdown the Aggies have had tonight came on a throw into traffic and a tremendous catch by Kendrick Rogers.
Jimbo's trying to get a timeout. He's frustrated with somebody. Oh, you need to hold on. When you're down 15 in the fourth quarter, every timeout is precious.
You cannot miss opportunities either. A&M has one here. Can they cash in against Dabo's team? All right, Adnan, and here Clemson has the lead. A&M trying to cut into it. 28-13. Number 2 Tigers up. On 2nd and 10. Mon. There's a flag flying in the middle of the field. He was looking for Courtney Davis. A.J. Terrell was on the coverage. Aggies might have had an eligible man downfield. We'll see.
Yeah, that was one of the calls. I don't know if this looked like a call came in the coverage. Definitely had an offensive lineman downfield.
There are 2 fouls on the play, one on each team. Ineligible player downfield. Number 65, offense. Pass interference. Number 8, defense. Those fouls offset. 2nd down.
Let's do it again. A.J. Terrell, 6'2". Cover corner.
You see an offensive lineman right here sneak down. But I tell you that Terrell, who I think is a great corner, he gets his hands on Davis. And you can see his head turn, but before his head turn, he got his hands on Davis, and that's when the flag came out.
There's Dan Moore, who was the man downfield. Terrell bailed him out, so we'll do it all over again. Blitz coming, gets away from Simmons momentarily. Mon throws it, touchdown! Courtney Davis with his first career catch, and it's a huge one.
How about the poise here? I thought he was going to throw the ball to Osmond. He had him open right there, right in front of him, but instead he waits and then goes downfield to Davis, who has just interfered. That's good speed to run away from Simmons. You can see Osmond's all alone right there, but he goes the next level, takes the chance, and comes away with a touchdown. I'll tell you what, Aggies won't go away.
They said they were going to fight him to the very end, and boy, we have a barn burner in Kyle Field.
ESPN College Football is presented by Hampton by Hilton. For the best price guarantee, book at Hampton.com. And in part by America's biopharmaceutical companies. Go boldly.
This is what they've wanted. Hope, belief, toughness in the Aggie spirit. I don't know if they're going to win, but Jimbo Fisher is establishing a culture right now.
This is different. This is a different feel for Texas A&M. I have no idea who's going to win this game, but this program is changing right in front of our eyes with Jimbo Fisher. The fight that he wanted to see from his team, you're seeing. We haven't seen this in a while at Texas A&M.
And he's got a chance down 8, see if they can get a stop as we look at this week's college football rankings brought to you by Chick-fil-A, the AP poll. Clemson sitting at number 2, fighting for their lives right now against Texas A&M. Everyone else has won or is leading in the top 10.
That Georgia win in Columbia, tough place to play, pretty impressive, and we'll see what happens here. Kelly Bryant stays in the game.
As well he should, Kirk. He was 6 for 6, 119 yards and a touchdown, like 2 touchdown drives in the third quarter, and puts one right on the money to the outside to Amari Rogers.
It's kind of become a Kelly Bryant and Kellen Mond game. I want to give Kellen Mond a lot of credit. Here's a guy that's learning a new system, a very complicated system with Jimbo Fisher. And those last 2 drives, 5 of 6, 115 yards, and really doing a good job of setting protections, stuffing to the offensive line coach there.
Bryant escapes trouble in the backfield, and Kelly using those feet and picking up the first down.
How about that? That's a loss of 3 and turned into a first down. Mike Elko brought the blitz with a safety and a linebacker. Bryant spins off it and makes a play.
Derek Tucker now grabbing his calf. Hard-hitting physical safety in that Aggie secondary.
And it looks like another player cramping.
It's been a humid day. Air is thick here in College Station.
Is. Started on game day.
It did indeed. Got a game in the fourth quarter. Clemson by 8. And now for tonight's game track, brought to you by the U.S. Navy. Clemson holding an 8-point lead. Look at the numbers Kelly Bryant has put up. Just 3 incomplete passes, accounted for a couple touchdowns.
Yeah, an exciting third quarter. This is maybe as good a play as he's made it. 2nd and 5. Look at the blitz. Right there, he's wrapped up. He breaks that tackle. Instead of being 3rd and 8, and this crowd in the game, and maybe A&M's offense getting the ball back, breaks the tackle, picks up a first down. That's a play to remember for Clemson fans.
Talked about the toughness A&M has shown. Championship culture shining through for the Tigers as well. Bryant taking a shot, throwing deep, and the Aggies trying to run it down, and is just beyond the outstretched arms.
A little out.
Defender Larry Pryor.
My bad, Reese. Little out and up by Amari Rogers. Renfro, pretty good coverage, doesn't bite on it, trying to stay in phase. Rogers does get behind him, but he gets help with the safety coming over. Pryor, who almost makes the interception. Here they come.
Bryant keeps it. It's up to the 41, pickup of a couple, 3rd down and 8, and this is the big one.
A&M sticking to their game plan with Mike Elko, blitzing at the very last moment. And that time Mike Elko's defense draws it up and they secure the tackle, and now we get that 3rd and 8.
Clemson guy in the sea of the 12th man. Kiki is after Bryant. Kelly gets away. Gets up across the 40, and he takes a little bump out of bounds. Tyrell Dodson pulled up, and Elko's defense coming up with another play. Making a 4th down. Mike's fired up.
Yeah, man, he's fired up. He is fired up. Dodson came close to getting a 15-yard penalty. Kelly Bryant did a good job of acting. Anytime a quarterback runs near that sideline, he maybe gets barely gets touched, he's going to go down. But A&M does not get called for the 15-yard penalty.
Spires will punt it away for Clemson, and Rashad Paul, who's had a couple of really nice returns for the Aggies, waits just inside his own 20. High, booming punt from Spires. Paul calling for the fair catch, and he makes it. And the Aggies have a chance to drive for the tie after the 45-yard punt. All right, Dan. You can stream college football all season long on ESPN Plus. See games like Florida State and Samford and anything else you want to see. So start your free trial today by downloading the ESPN app or visiting ESPNplus.com. What a scene we have in Kyle Field, Texas A&M. Ball inside their own 20. Mon gets away. Mon throwing it to the outside, and it's a tremendous catch by Kendrick Rogers. And Rogers, who had a touchdown earlier, makes the grab with Mark Fields right under him.
You know, how about these wide receivers from Texas A&M tonight? We knew about Osborne, but Rogers and Davis and Buckley, again, a little unorthodox, but it gets away from trouble. And I mean, did he ever touch the ground? Fields makes, oh yeah, yep. I was focused on his knee, but the back of his shoulder touches the ground. But good at play again. Kellen Mond has come alive in the second half of this A&M offense.
Just glad Kendrick popped up there. The Aggies get out of a little field position trouble. Mond has to get rid of it. Taking a shot. Davis is running free, and they couldn't quite hook up.
Kellen Mond, we just talked about, he had back-to-back series where he was 5 of 6. Made a big throw right here to get a drive started to Buckley. The very next play, how about that throw? Where the big receiver at 6'3" goes up with Rogers. The next series to get the ball to Trevion Williams on a slip screen. Come back after a 15-yard penalty. Right before he goes down, he puts it up. Courtney Davis makes the touchdown to give this A&M offense some life. But Kellen Mond, again, he's a young man who's come a long way in this offense, growing up in a big way tonight.
Those numbers in the second half, remarkable. 8 of 11, 179. Now, getting away from pressure and throw it away. 3rd and 10 coming for the Aggies.
You know, the best thing you can say about him facing this defense, the numbers are great. But the biggest number that's impressive under that pressure and that duress, 0 interceptions. He's not making poor decisions. Jimbo Fisher's got to be ecstatic. This is a non-conference game. He's getting ready to go into the SEC West with a new offense and a new quarterback. And this kid making these plays against this defense, man, it's encouraging.
Aggies will be very encouraged if they can pick up 10+ here. Down the middle, complete, and a first down. It is Jamon Osborne. And all of the receivers getting in on the act now, Kirk.
They sure are. He's got a free release at the top, or actually to the far left. Nobody slows him down. With the linebackers there, just kind of being stretched out to the outside. Easy throwing lane for Mond to make that throw to Osborne, who we thought, again, coming in with his size would be a difficult matchup for the Clemson secondary. Not the fastest of receivers, but 6'2", 220, and uses his body. That time, great throw.
Farrell and Bryant there, and Cleveland gets him first, and big 99 with a sack.
Left tackle Dan Moore has had a tough time up here dealing with this speed, but you also have to deal with Austin Bryant. You got a left guard that's pulling around here, and Hawker to try to deal with Bryant, but Cleve Farrell, you could say, is one of, if not the best pass rusher, he's right up there with Nick Bosa, is one of the best pass rushers in the game. And you can ask Dan Moore if that's accurate, the left tackle. He's had a tough time dealing with his speed.
Cleveland's got 2 of the 4 Clemson sacks tonight, 18 and a half for his career, which has been terrific. Now 2nd and 16. Underneath, Rogers with the catch, uses that big strong body, stays on his feet, fighting ahead and getting to the 45, and putting A&M in position to convert on 3rd down and short.
That gives them a chance now on 3rd and short. How about the effort against Kendall Joseph? That's a big linebacker that he just pushes off of him, and then Mark Fields comes in. Short, simple throw. You got to do something after the catch right there. Joseph has him. He just throws him to the ground and goes all over top of Mark Fields and puts him here at 3rd and 2.
Need to get it to the 41. Whistles, flag.
Tight end Sternberger, the junior college transfer.
Full start. Number 78, offense. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
And I think they had the right guard and the tight end right here and also right there.
Easy call, a costly one.
And we said how much easier it is at 3rd and 3 to call a play versus getting pushed back. We saw that happen to them earlier in the game. Now it's 3rd and 8.
Kellen Mond's had a career night, 304 yards. He's had a big 3rd down conversion, needs another one. Got a man out there. It's Buckley. Buckley headed to the 1st down marker, and he's got it, I believe.
It depends where the ball was, and they're going to give him the 1st down.
Well, Brent Venables and Jimbo Fisher have gone head-to-head so many times over the years. When Fisher was at Florida State, and they're locked up in a battle right now, and Jimbo winning that 3rd down match. Mond will pull it down. Still RPO. Buckley's out there. Buckley catches it and gets down to the 25, but there's a flag. It probably got a receiver or the lineman downfield.
And about 3 of them downfield because he spent so much time deciding between run or pass that you had 2 or 3 linemen downfield. He also may have crossed the line of scrimmage. It was close to it anyway, but I think they're going to get the linemen downfield.
Ineligible player downfield, number 54. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
That's tough on those linemen.
Yeah.
Those RPOs, run pass option. You're a lineman, you're blocking a run. And you're hoping that the quarterback on an RPO, the ball is going to be out so quickly that even though you're blocking a run, you're going to maybe be a couple of yards downfield. And defensive coordinators in college football tell you they're way downfield. But the ball is supposed to come out fast, and Mond was still deciding between run and pass too long, and the lineman obviously downfield.
I'm just glad to see they finally call it.
Yeah.
Dave Patias is going to give me a dirty look when I say that. Mond standing in the pocket. That's a backwards pass, but it's caught by Williams. And Clemson all over it with J.D. Davis. Now, Kirk, with Texas A&M's situation, 11 of the last 13 times they've had a top 10 opponent in Kyle Field, they've lost. They haven't been able to make the final winning play very often. Here's an opportunity against an elite Clemson team. 2nd and 18 looking at him on this drive as we get inside 7 minutes.
Yeah, Jimbo Fisher looking at that play sheet. He's thinking in 2nd and 18 if he can get to that 3rd and 5 to 3rd and 8 mark on this play right here.
Almost intercepted. Kayvon Wallace almost had it once and then dove for it on the deflection. Almost got it again.
Yeah, he was indecisive. You can see his feet. Watch him. He's hesitant, and then forces it. And when a quarterback gets back there and he doesn't quite trust it with his feet, and then all of a sudden at the last second he's going to pull the string, typically that ball is going to go, errant. It's either going to go up in the air or down on the ground. He put so much on that, overstrided, threw the ball too much, and the ball sailed on him. He caught a break with that not being intercepted by Wallace.
Do the Aggies have another play on 3rd and long? On to the outside, got a receiver out there, and it's incomplete. Incomplete. Buckley couldn't hold on. And now it's Isaiah Simmons going down and trying to stretch out.
How about him bringing that right hand like a club through Buckley? Let's see it go up in the air and then straight down to the ball. That is a big-time play by Simmons. He brought his arm up. He knew that he couldn't get there to deflect it, so he gets his hand on the ball, doesn't give up on it, and eventually knocks the ball away from Buckley. That is tremendous play by Isaiah Simmons.
Simmons used every bit of that 40-pound or so weight advantage that he has and all of that strength. Because Buckley had that thing looked in. And Simmons has played very well tonight with 7 tackles, and now his second pass broken up. They're attending the Simmons on the field. The All-State bus here in College Station, helping us keep up with all the mayhem on a busy Saturday. Kirk, you got an All-State mayhem moment today?
Yeah, every Saturday night we talk about that mayhem moment, college football, and there's some big upsets, but you got to talk about Kansas. How about Kansas? 31-7, and not only that, snaps a 46-game road losing streak. And the Bear, I think, was on the board.
He was on it.
He picked him as a closer in the. No, he picked him.
No,
to win
I think
outright.
he picked him to win and break the streak.
He did. So that is mayhem.
The Bear, Chris Felica, in the truck, keeping us honest tonight. The Aggies stopped on 3rd and 18. They'll have to punt it away. And Braden Mann's had a really good night punting. Now he's going to try to pin Clemson deep. And couldn't quite find the ball on coverage team, so it'll come out to the 20-yard line. Kelly Bryant and Clemson will have it back. Bear, great call on Rock Chalk Jayhawk finally getting a road win, huh?
Well, I think there was an overreaction to last week. We know Nichols is a good FCS team, and that was a team that gave Texas A&M trouble last year here, gave Georgia trouble a couple years ago, and in Kansas, who thought that we improved this year, and I thought Central Michigan was a team benefited from turnovers last week, and today it totally worked itself.
Bear, we got Michigan State on a bounce-back week against Arizona State tonight. Penn State's battling Pitt, and the Bear was 1-2 in Week 1. He bounces back this week to go 2-1. Attaboy, Bear.
Bear never stays down long, Herbie. To the ground. Kelly Bryant, running room, and a whole lot of it. Bryant's going to turn on the Jets, but he steps out of bounds. Up around midfield, the official coming in is going to mark him out of bounds at the 47-yard line. But a 27-yard run.
Natural runner. When he ran inside, the A&M defense comes in to take that away, and that's where his natural running instincts allows him to get back to the outside. You better be very careful on your pursuit of Kelly Bryant, because he's got good vision like a running back, and he will cut back in a hurry, and that's what he did there.
Inside 6 minutes to go, and if Bryant can lead another drive into the teeth of this crowd, put points on the board, Clemson will be in great shape again on the road. ETN up to midfield, picks up about 3 as we check in with Adnan. You were the only one that gave the Wildcats a prayer.
They're hanging around.
Hanging around?
Yeah, they are.
Trying to close the deal.
Yeah, they are.
Wilson misses Bryant. Bryant trying to get free and just hanging on to the shoe tops and the laces is Landis Durham, who led the SEC in sacks last year. We haven't heard much from Landis tonight, but that was a really important play.
Exactly. It's the first time I think we've called his name. It's a pretty strong statement when you say that Durham led the SEC in sacks a year ago with 10.5. Good play out in space, as you said, against Kelly Bryant. It's tough to do. See what Mike Elko draws up here. Disguising, and then trying to bring the pressure late.
Too wide. Bryant was looking for Amari Rogers, and it's 4th down.
There's a lot of movement after the snap. It's what Mike Elko likes to do. It's what all the great defensive minds do in the college game. Mix it up, try to constantly give you a different feel and a different thing for the offensive line. He picked the right receiver going to Rogers. It's a long throw, unable to connect.
So now Will Spires, who's averaged nearly 44 yards per punt, knocked a couple inside the 20. Rashad Paul is standing at his 5. His job is to make sure the Aggies don't get pinned too deep. Spires just got it off. Paul comes up, fair catch at the 15. So 85 yards standing between Texas A&M and a potential tying drive. Tomorrow on ESPN, the 2018 U.S. Open Men's Championship coverage presented by Mercedes-Benz. Novak Djokovic against Juan Martín del Potro. That's tomorrow at 4 Eastern, 1 on the West Coast on ESPN. And streaming live on the ESPN app, so you can watch the match anywhere. Just before we came on, women's championship.
Bears says that the crowd will be all about Del Potro. See how Djokovic responds to that.
That's a good men's final.
Will be
dialed in.
Intensity of the Open. Love those night matches. Chris Fowler's done such a terrific job. So has Tom Rinaldi, the entire crew. Calling those. Kellen Mond trying to rally the Aggies. He's got Rogers open. Rogers, did he hold it? The pass was a little high. He did, and the Aggies pick up about 30 on first down as we're inside 4 minutes to go.
I'll tell you what, he's doing a really good job of coming off of his primary receiver when another receiver breaks free. A bust, a rare bust by the Clemson coverage where they completely lose the wide receiver down the field. Rogers has come alive himself here in the second half, but Kellen Mond in the vision to locate him, a big play.
In the last couple of weeks of camp in the first game, Rogers really starting to emerge. Mond again. He's got Sternberger. Sternberger on his feet and dragged down inside the 30.
These two defenders are looking at the quarterback. You've got safeties that are split. Going after the middle of the field. Look at the eyes of the Clemson linebackers. Looking at Kellen Mond. Nobody picks up Sternberger as he gets behind them.
Clemson decides to use a timeout. And that Clemson defense had the Aggies backed up inside their own 20 after the punt. And Kellen Mond got him right out of that hole in a hurry, Herbie.
His vision right here, it just kind of sneaked through the middle of the defense. Nobody sees him. Split safeties. They get occupied with the two outside wide receivers, middle of the field wide open. He finds him late because I think he was surprised that he was there, but nonetheless he's able to sneak it in there. They come right back the very next play. They get behind the linebackers with their eyes in the backfield with those safeties split again. So back-to-back plays attacking the middle of that Clemson defense.
Kirk, the SEC West is 5-0 against Power 5 competition. 4 wins last week. Mississippi State beat Kansas State today. But nothing would even come close to approximating, even though A&M's at home. If the Aggies get this thing tied and somehow knock off number 2 Clemson and Jimbo Fisher's second game as head coach.
This is one of those non-conference games. If they lose, they should move up in the rankings, in my mind. I mean, if the final score is 28-20 and they lose a hard-fought game, they're not ranked right now. They just took number 2 to the end, the very end of this game. But they may end up winning the game. But if they don't, man, there's a lot to like about this team.
8 points behind. Travion Williams driving the feet. Getting to the 25. Pickup of a couple as we're inside 3 minutes to go. A&M has a couple of its timeouts.
Nice push. Clemson's defense getting tested here in this heat and humidity. They try to rotate to stay fresh. Remember the last 2 plays? They attacked the middle of the field. That time, an adjustment made. Kayvon Wallace was in the middle of the field.
Kellen Mond has put more yards on Clemson through the air than any quarterback in 5 years. Mond steps up, has a man outside, and he threw it over Travion Williams' head, and that's a missed opportunity.
At the very least, you catch that ball, probably going to be looking at 3rd and 1. Maybe picks up the first down the way he can run out there.
Well, they've got 2 plays to get it.
Yes.
With only 2 timeouts, there's not enough time to try to kick the field goal and get them off the field quickly.
They have attacked that middle area right through here. Here's the tight end that they like to go to.
Pressure's picked up. Davis with another catch. He's got a first down. Did Davis stay on his feet? Headed to the corner. The ball flew out.
It looked like it went out of bounds instead of through the end zone, which would be a touchback in Clemson's football. I think it went out of bounds.
Oh, let's see.
Heck of a play once again by Davis, and he doesn't give up on a play.
They're saying that it was a fumble through the end zone and a touchback.
I thought it went. Well, it looks like it's to the left. I don't know. That is a really tough call.
I get the tough definitive angle as Dave Kataya is having a look at it up here in our booth.
I think the angle from behind.
The angle from behind shows something, but the rule is if it goes out of the end zone, it's a touchback. But you can't. This is not a good angle.
The play of a fumble through the end zone for a touchback is under further review.
To me, live, it looked left to the pylon.
It does to me, too. This is very, very close.
Dave, is there anything that you've been able to see to this point that would give them enough video evidence to overturn this call? Because that's important. The call on the field is touchback.
Not at this point. I agree with Herbie. It looks like it's to the left. I don't know that they have enough at this point to overturn.
Boy, I just don't know how that goes inside.
It looks pylon. Outside to me.
I know this is a
tough one.
Making the call and getting it correct is the most important thing, but it does bring up to mind that you got to put the ball away in that situation. That's not a place to stretch.
Great play by Wallace in the progressive pylon cam to get his hand on the football. But that's the pylon right there.
Yeah.
To me, this goes outside the pylon.
I agree.
From what I can see. And if it goes outside the pylon, the ball gets returned to the spot of the fumble because it was fumbled forward and out of bounds.
Boy, is that.
This is close, but it looks like it's outside.
Hey, guys, let's look at that. If we can see let's look at the pylon cam. Watch the angle. Does it go to the right?
As you're looking at the screen, it appears to go to the right, which would be to the left of the pylon on the field. And this is a tough one. The referees, Stuart Mullins from the ACC crew on the field and Stan Murray, the SEC replay crew, having a look upstairs.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
And that's what we thought. There was not enough video evidence.
Wasn't confirmed.
To overturn the call. It wasn't confirmed. They just allowed it to stand.
Exactly. Again, we think it's outside. It's got to be 100%. They didn't have 100%.
Jimbo Fisher, we got to be careful here. He is fired up.
2:13 to go. The Aggies only have 2 timeouts, and Jimbo letting Stuart Mullins have it. And if you're going to be able to have one last desperate shot, you certainly don't want to give up that sportsmanlike penalty. And heartbreak for Courtney Davis, who's had a pretty good night. Had his first catch, his first touchdown, and very nearly had another one. But as I said, that ball has to be secured in that stage because you have time on subsequent plays. And now Clemson trying to get out of here with a hard-earned victory. Kelly Bryant knocked down behind the 20, loss of 1. It'll be second down. Otaro Alaka was there.
Yeah, Jimbo Fisher immediately running down the sidelines to use one of his timeouts. Remember we talked about how precious the timeouts are? There was a mental mistake on the field when his offense had the ball. They were down 15 and they had to use one of those timeouts. Wouldn't it be nice if he was able to have all 3 right here?
A&M with 1 timeout remaining. Clemson just trying to make sure they secure the football. I would imagine we're going to see a pretty steady dose of what we just saw, and it's Kelly Bryant keeping the ball.
Yeah, Jimbo Fisher's still fired up.
We have a break here. Let's check in with Adnan in the studio. Do the quick math here, depending on how long the plays last. If A&M can get a stop and use one more timeout, it's likely get the ball with somewhere in the neighborhood of a minute to go, but they have to get a stop here, and Clemson would like to salt it away with the quarterback run. Kelly Bryant across the 25 to the 26. They got to get to the 30 for the first down. Jimbo calls the timeout with 2:03 to go, and that's his final timeout. So 28-20. Clemson clinging to the lead against Texas A&M. What has been a highly entertaining, particularly in the second half, and a tough play just by a fraction. A&M losing the opportunity to get within 2 of the touchdown.
It's incredible it came down to a play like that so far. We'll see what happens. A&M could get the ball back. Davis, who's had a great night at wide receiver, the hustle to get around, get the corner, try to get to the end zone, and Kayvon Wallace, who's a great player in that secondary for Clemson, presence of mind and knocked that ball away, ended up catching a break where it ended up going through the end zone. So we'll see what happens. I think Clemson runs again with the quarterback here. Keep the ball in the hands of Kelly Bryant, because you get an extra blocker, makes it tough on that defense to try to match up with him and what he can do as a running quarterback.
A 3rd and 4. If Clemson can pick up 4 or more, it would go to 8-2 in their last 10 games against SEC competition, and they will have earned every bit of it against this tough team and hostile crowd. 2:03 to go. No more timeouts for the Aggies, and this is it for A&M. They got to stop them, or Clemson can run out the clock. Bryant not going to get the first down. So the 40-second clock starts with about 1:56 to go. So Clemson will have to punt it away with $1:20. No timeouts for Texas A&M. Kellen Mond is thrown for nearly 400 yards tonight. Rashad Paul back to return the punt. Clemson wants to make sure it makes no mistakes on the snap and special teams as they remain huddled over on the sideline around Dabo Swinney.
I always brag about Jimbo Fisher's Thursday practice. It used to be at Florida State. Now it's here at College Station. He works as hard as anybody in the 2-minute drill. Good against good. He challenges his offense. He wants Mike Elko to crank up the blitzes, crank it up, and he prides himself. He did the same thing at Florida State when he had Jameis Winston. And it is a battle now. I mean, guys are yelling. They're challenging each other. He puts as much heat as he can put on Kellen Mond for these moments. So don't be shocked to see Kellen Mond with maybe a little over a minute to go and no timeouts be comfortable in that setting because of the way Jimbo Fisher works his quarterbacks and how much he emphasizes that 2-minute drill.
By the same token, Venables, the guy with immense talent on his defense, loves to be in the perfect call, understands Jimbo's offense, so we're going to come down to a high-speed chess match here in the final minute or so.
Be great.
This is something else to keep an eye on here, Herbie. A&M got very close to Will Spires' last punt, and Rashad Paul has had a couple of nice returns for Texas A&M. You might see him go return here. You don't want to risk roughing the kicker or running into him, which would give him the first down. Spires, little rugby look. They don't want to let Paul have a shot, and they shank the thing, and A&M is going to have great field position.
That ball's right around midfield, it looked like.
And not only that, it barely used any time off the clock. It got a minute 12. It used 5 seconds. A 22-yard punt.
Yeah, they're at the plus 49. No timeouts. Kellen Mond is thinking about 2 things to help him. Doesn't have to be urgent because of the field position, but first downs and getting out of bounds with no timeouts. No way he can take a sack here. Got to throw the ball away.
Most of our college fans know clock stops to reset the chains on first downs, even in the middle of the field. So Mond has some things to work with. Looking for a 400-yard passing night. Needs to get his team 49 yards. And there's the first completion of the drive to Kendrick Rogers. Let's see if they give him the first down or if it keeps running.
And they stopped the clock. Yeah, they give him the first down. That took 4 seconds.
Now it's rolling again, headed toward a minute. Gets rid of it just before Farrell, throwing to the outside for Rodgers. A lot of contact, and they're going to throw the flag on Mark Fields.
You wonder how much Jimbo Fisher working those officials over after that call where the ball went through the end zone. He didn't care for the call, although this Mark Fields is pretty physical here.
Defense.
In coverage against Rodgers.
Automatic first down.
Pushing, shoving. Doesn't really turn to look for the football until the ball had already hit the ground.
2 plays, and the Aggies are inside the 25, still with 52 seconds to play.
We keep focusing on Mond, but it's also the receivers being able to get separation from man coverage. Remember, this is what A&M and Jimbo Fisher pride themselves on.
And Clemson as well. The rush in the corners. Farrell almost gets mine. Into the middle. Was it caught? Touchdown! Touchdown, Kendrick Rodgers! Now they're tearing the lid off the place, but you got to get the 2. Let's look at this catch again.
Ball's deflected. Does he keep his? Oh yeah, that ball did not touch the ground. Kendrick Rodgers with the focus off the tip ball. It's Wallace again that's able to get his hands on that ball to knock it up in the air, but the ball never came close to touching the ground.
How about Rodgers? 7 catches, 120 yards, and now 2 touchdowns. What a look this is.
How about the throw by Kellen Mond to be able to have the guts to make that throw? He got pressure right here by Farrell. He gets his shoulder, actually takes his jersey. Look at this. He's throwing the ball with his jersey over his shoulder pad. Steps up in the pocket. Wallace makes a good effort to get to the football. Unable to come up with the interception, and Rodgers scores.
Jimbo always talks about quarterbacks being like boxers, and right there, Mond was able to take that punch inside, keep his balance, and deliver the ball. Now they need the 2.
Yep, after Farrell got to him. Look for a rub or a pick here against man coverage.
For the tie with 46 seconds to play. Mond rolling. Farrell after him. There's a flag. Mond's got to throw it, and it's intercepted. Kayvon Wallace this time holds on to it, and there's going to be a hold called.
Offense. Penalties decline. The point is no good.
But we've got 46 seconds and an onside kick coming now.
Going to come down to the onside kick and the hands team. Boy, this is a heck of a battle.
How about Wallace stepping up and this time making the play?
Well, he's been all over the field the last couple series. Almost came up with the interception on the touchdown. Here's the hold right there. Sutherland. He really has nowhere to go with the ball. He just throws it. There's that pressure once again from the Clemson defense.
Clemson is great in this situation. Since 2011, 1 possession game. The Tigers are 22-4. That is the best in the country. Now, they're not totally out of the woods yet. But they held on, stopped the 2-point try, and Clemson trying to get out of here with another road victory against the Aggies. Remember the short field goal early in the game that A&M missed too?
That just kind of remind you of Clemson going on the road against Auburn last year. Jordan Hare early in the year. It was a couple years ago. It was 19-13, really close game. Actually created more of a battle-tested team. The game in Clemson last year against Auburn, 14-6. So they're used to being in these tight games.
Here comes the onside kick. You know who's got it? Hunter Renfrow. You'd think you'd kick it anywhere in the world, but anywhere close to number 13, and he makes another clutch catch, and this one's going to save the Tigers in Aggieland.
You know, it's early in the year. It's week 2. Jimbo Fisher and Texas A&M, they're going to grow from this, get ready to go into conference play. They got Alabama in a couple weeks. So they'll learn from this, they'll grow from this, they'll get confident. And Kellen Mond grew up in a big way. And the Clemson Tigers, the number 2 team in the country, this is why Dabo Swinney takes these games, to get tested, to help them for their conference, to help them for the postseason. So, you know, Clemson wins the game, but I really feel, I walk out of here, we'll look back 3, 4, 5 weeks from now, and you'll see how both teams were able to grow from this game in week 2.
That's what Dabo told us this week. And look, A&M deserves a ton of credit because they're still building their program. But this was a huge growth night, the maturity. You win with the maturity that Clemson showed in the clutch tonight, making the last play when they absolutely had to. That guy was really good tonight. Cleveland Farrell, I know, look, they gave up 500 yards, but Farrell was after Mond all night long, and Clemson goes on the road and beats Texas A&M by a deuce.
Clemson's all about culture. There's a new culture in College Station with Jimbo Fisher. Feels very, very different.
I got an idea. Let's watch this again when these two get together next year in Clemson. How about that?
I'm in. I'm in.
Maria Taylor's with Dabo Swinney.
All right, Coach, you walk out of here with a 2-point win. Describe the test that your team just passed.
Well, you only need one more point than they have, so let's be happy about that. But, man, listen, to come on the road, you know, what an unbelievable environment. I mean, unbelievable. What a special place to be a part of college football. You know, but early in the season, and neither team wants to lose. You saw that tonight. You saw the heart of both teams. And I thought they did a great job. They had a great plan. You know, we bent a lot. We missed on some opportunities. We kind of had a low offensively. Then we came back and lit it up. Defensively, we were lighting up. Then we went in a low, so it was just kind of back and forth. But at the end of the day, somehow we found a way to win by 2 points. And you know what? That gets us to 2-0, and that's really what we came out here to do, to get to 2-0 and grow our team. That's what I talked about all week. This is a game that we can really grow from because, you know, it's our first time to play an opponent like this in a while, and they did a heck of a job. They had a heck of a plan. Hats off to Texas A&M and Jimbo, but we're thankful that we got the win. Proud of our guys.
Long embrace there with Jimbo at the end. You won round 9. What did you want him to know about what his team did?
Well, I just told him, I mean, just, you know, that's a tough one right there to lose for either side. You know, both teams fought incredibly hard. He's proud of his team. I'm proud of my team. It's a game of a few plays when you're playing, you know, big boy football. And it was a few plays tonight, but I just told him, you know, congratulations on what he's done here already. To see this environment and to see his kids fight to the last second, you know what? That's what it's all about. And they can grow from this as well. And we were fortunate to come out on top, no doubt about it.
Real quick, does the quarterback philosophy change moving forward? We saw Kelly B the entire fourth quarter.
Yeah, well, you know, that's it. You got to pay attention to the game, and Trevor did some great things. We'll continue to play those guys for sure. I don't see that changing, but I thought Kelly stepped up big for us and showed his leadership and his experience when we had to have it down the stretch. So Trevor came in and, you know, kind of hard to start any better than he did, but proud of both of them. But, you know, I thought Kelly really settled in and gave us, you know, the heart of a champion down the stretch there.
All right, thanks for your time.
Maria, Dabo, thank you very much.
And I think that's a big takeaway for both teams. Kelly Bryant, who's kind of trying to hold off Trevor Lawrence, had an opportunity tonight. Trevor Lawrence made a big play early, but it was Kelly Bryant that really took this game over for the Tigers. And Kellen Mond, if you're an A&M fan, your quarterback, not just your team, but your quarterback grew up in a big way. And when they get ready to take on the Crimson Tide, you got to feel a lot better about where Mond is with this offense of Jimbo Fisher.
Mond got everybody's attention, including Dabo's throwing for 430 yards, but Clemson, number 2 in the land, and 2 points better tonight. The Tigers win it 28-26. For Maria Taylor, Kirk Herbstreit, and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Reese Davis. Time for College Football Scoreboard. Let's go back to the studio and Adnan.